Now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome. Let me unmute you guys here as we get started with today's party. And I have asked the eminent Cindy Paris and Gary Byrne to be organizers with me today. So they were going to start unmuting as well, apparently. I see Cindy added already. So let me just start getting you guys unmuted. Good morning, Jody. Jody's one of the first people here today. Jonathan. By the way, if you guys are making noise, I will ask you to mute yourselves. Because there's people with feedback in the back, and sometimes if you're going to talk behind my back, you need to mute yourself. So let's see, Julianne, you're muted. Could you hang on a second? I'm just trying to get. Whoa, there's all sorts of noise going on here. I can't tell who it is. Someone's got
Michaela, that budgie wasn't eating at Christmas.
Let's see. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Michaela. Okay. Let's see.
My friend.
Second, someone.
Michaela, sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my friend Diana.
That was really well done. That blew my mind. Let me open up Cynthia. Okay. All right. So as everybody comes in, let me unmute Julianne. Okay. Somewhere along the line. Okay. Well, Cindy, you know better than me how to do all this stuff, so this is great. So, thank you. Okay, and I'm delighted to see Aileen here today. I think after I
Hi, Ken.
embarrassed you, there was no way you were going to miss today.
I don't know if I'll manage 2 hours, mind you.
I almost put in the mass email that I sent out earlier today. I almost put out a shout out to you saying, "And Aileen, make sure you get your butt there." But I decided not to. Well, hey everybody, I am so happy that you're here. We have some. Oh, my screen's. We have some new people here, of course, as we always do. And we have people that have been here for a while. So thank all of you for joining us. Someone's talking in the background. Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. Cynthia.
Yep.
Would you mute?
Sorry, I thought I was on mute.
No, you're not. We're eavesdropping on you now. Thank you. Okay. So for those of you that are new, what we do with all of these events is we unmute you all so that we can tell you to mute yourselves. we unmute yourself. We unmute you all so that way you can all participate and play. And it's important that you do because this is all for you. So if you're going to be making noise in the background, we do ask you to mute yourself so that it doesn't mess up the recording. But we do want you to be participating throughout the event today because this really is for you. And particularly today, we've got some new things to share with you and show you. So if you have questions, you can just shout them out. Jody, I've got a little bit of feedback coming from you in the background, Jody S. So if you can, and by the way, to mute yourself, you'll see your on the left-hand side of your control panel from GoToWebinar, you'll see a little microphone. All you got to do is click on that, and you can mute yourself. And then when you want to just chime in, or if we call on you to put you on the spot, thank you, Jody. You can just go right ahead and unmute yourself at will. Better if you do it rather than me doing it, because it gives you the element of control. And there you go. So cool. So I'm thrilled that you guys are here. Wolfie, happy that you're here. Wolfie sent me a message. I need to make sure I get an update to this because it's going to expire and I don't want to lose my wraps. Wow. David, if you would mute yourself, please, that would be really lovely. You got a lot of noise in the background over there. So the one challenge with opening up lines like this is that all the background stuff becomes kind of a challenge sometimes. So, okay. So, Matt should be here shortly. I hope he stepped out for a second, and I hope it's better than yesterday because last night at about 1:00 in the morning his time. Is that your bird, Michaela, talking to us?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was muted. Yeah.
Lovely. Well, I will jump in for a quick second then. And where did it go? Is it here? You guys, I sent you a link to the video that Michaela put together for us yesterday. And this has got to be the coolest ever video testimonial that I've seen. So I'm so grateful.
Oh, I am so relieved. When I finished it, I thought, God, he's going to think I'm a total whack job.
No, it's fantastic. It's great. And I'm not going to play it right now because I had something weird. Let me see if I can. Let me just see real quickly. Oh, good. No, the Callan Rush thing is gone. So I'll play it for you guys a little bit later. I want to get down to the most important stuff right now about our timing because it is the end of the year. Just as an FYI, we as I looked at our calendar and our schedule, I want to do these twice a month together with you. And it was going to be kind of cumbersome with January coming across, New Year's coming across, Christmas, the holidays, everything was going to be kind of weird. So I decided to put this on today, and I wanted to release the 1.0 version today. We were so close. We're always so close. We got a bunch of new features to show you today, and then Matt needs a couple more days to fine tune a couple things. Every time we're about ready to hit the release button, there's either some change in WordPress or something else going on. And last week, just as an FYI, I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint. Last week, we lost a few days having to recreate all of our WordPress sites. And when I say recreate, I mean that we had to go in and we had to upgrade every single WordPress site because we were literally shut down for a day. All of our sites were shut down for a full day. What happened? Somewhere along the line, we got some kind of weird. I don't know what to say. We got a virus or something, but I don't think we were hacked. But there was some script that shut us down. And our host completely shut down the entire account. And we had a bunch of weird error messages, like 437 of them, that had to be cleared out. We had to go in and we did not update all of our WordPress sites to the most current release because we're always afraid to do that because once you upgrade WordPress immediately, while they say it's great for security, it may also break some of your plugins. So we don't usually upgrade WordPress as aggressively as perhaps the web hosts like. Well, they insisted on it or we weren't going to come back up again. So in so doing, that meant some things were breaking. And we had to go back in and fix so many of our sites. And we had a big problem with my instant theme for business. Somewhere along the line, the entire installation was messed up. We had to completely deinstall it and find out what was going on. So that, aside from just the hassle of that, and it just took us back a little bit. So anyway, that's kind of the long way around. But I want to take you through and show you.
Very important.
Let's see. Hi, Lloyd. Okay, Lloyd. Lloyd, I unmuted you and now I just muted you again. So if you want to pop in and participate, you're just gonna have to let us know in the question box, okay? But I can't have any more background noise. So again, somewhere along the line, Matt better be joining us, but I'm going to share with you a couple things that we've done. First of all, you need to go in today and upgrade your software. I will be sending out an email after this is over with a link, but it is already in the members area right now, the new version, and it's 0.995. So if you just go in and you'll download that, you'll uninstall and then just reinstall, and you'll have the 0.995 version, which is an improvement over the 9.9 version and just shy of what I wanted to give you in the 1.0 version. But there are a couple of things that I insisted that Matt add that took us back a little bit. The first thing you need to know, and I want to just make sure I get this out of the way right up front for all of you guys that have been around for a while, that we can get some questions and stuff and get into some more detail. But I want to take care of this housekeeping first because it is of foremost importance. The first thing you're going to notice or not notice is that when you install it, you're going to find in the page area, or when you're adding a page or editing a page, you're going to see something new. You're going to see that pages now have categories. Pages normally do not have categories in WordPress. Now they do. And there is an iBoostify or IB SiteWrap category. You don't need to check or click the category, and you don't need to categorize any of your pages. It's not a requirement at all. However, the category is here so that when we create our funnels, that it will categorize all of those funnel pages as a SiteWrap page. So that eliminates your need to do parent and child things because everyone's going to have it different, and it'll be really difficult to mass produce that for each of you separately, especially when some of you have different parent. Like for example, I had a /A, which is how things showed up. So it's easier for us to just categorize it in a category, and you'll see how that plays out in a minute. So that's the first thing I want to share with you that you would not normally see or know, but that's what that's about. So let's go ahead. You'll see on the left-hand side of the screen, and for those of you guys that are new, you're going to see a separate iBoostify slug on the left-hand side of your screen. And we're going to go ahead and just click on the SiteWrap button, and then I'll share with you what we've done. And I hope that Matt updated this. Yeah, he did. Perfect. Okay, great. So first thing you're going to see on the left-hand side of the screen is the beginning of your options. Now, we're going to have tabs on the top. So there'll be a default tab and there'll be a start a funnel tab. I wanted to get that done for you this morning, but that'll be out in a couple days. So that way you won't have to see your defaults all the time. Because when you're setting up defaults, there's no reason to see them all the time. Somebody's making some noise in the background. I don't know who it is, but if you could mute yourself, I would really, really, really appreciate it. So thank you in advance. Okay, so setting up your options, your target URL, you don't ever need to set that as a default because, quite frankly, and that's going to go away because obviously each time you set up a wrap, there is everyone's going to be different, right? So you'll put in your return URL as a default. Your zoom level would stay 1, which again I wanted to have in percentage, so Matt hasn't changed that yet. Your top image will stay as a default, and again, it's whatever you want it to do, and you have an upload button here. Your image height, and then you can choose your background color, and there's a color picker to do your background color. There's also what's new, there is now tips. So if you're not sure where you are, just hover on it, and you'll get tips, except for zoom level for some reason. I'm not sure why that's not working. But there are some tool tips somewhere along the line here for which of course now one of them showed, but they will be working perfectly. Next, we talked last time about retargeting. And if you're not familiar with what retargeting is, let me make it really clear. We're going to have a tutorial about this, and we'll probably have a complete session about this in terms of strategies for retargeting, because it's one of my favorite things ever. If you have been to a website, okay, when you've been to a website and you've looked at some product or service, and then you've noticed that as soon as you left that website, like almost within seconds, anywhere else you go on the web for the next few weeks or months or whatever, or just days, the advertising for that particular site follows you around. That's retargeting. It's something that is really tremendous. And guess what? We can do it with you, and we can do it for you. Or let me rephrase, we support it. Let's put it this way. You're going to use retargeting either through Google or through 2 different companies that support Facebook. So the AdWords retargeting script, you'll just copy from your Google your Google Analytics account. It goes right in here, that will, if you put it in here just like this, it will automatically populate all of your wrap pages. So you only need to put it in once. Next, if you're going to be using AdRoll or Perfect Audience, you would choose one of them. You wouldn't be using both normally. So we're giving you just one option to put in the script right over here. Matt didn't populate it yet, but the space is here for it. So you can just populate that. It will then populate your wrap pages for you automatically. Okay. Before I go any further, are there any questions on that? You guys can tell me. No? No questions there? Aileen?
Ken, is it easy to find? Yeah, you heard me breathing there.
I didn't. I did actually.
I feel bad because I wasn't on the last call, so I've missed the retargeting thing. But
See,
is it easy to find on analytics?
Yeah, actually, it is. Because if I could find it, you can find it. You're going to use your regular analytics code. But when you go in to set it up, they're going to ask you to customize it a little bit with like one line. And I can't explain how that works. It is in analytics. And again, when we go in, we give you a retargeting training, because what we're going to do is add to the product itself a retargeting training, because now this is a huge element for you. Okay. So go ahead.
This is only useful if we are using AdWords?
Well, yeah, for AdWords or for Facebook retargeting or Facebook ads. And here's the thing. You're going to absolutely want to be using this without any shadow of a doubt. If you're marketing anything online, you're going to want to use this. And here's why, Chiwa. Because people don't always buy the first time out. So if you can continue to remind them of the item they're looking at, whether it's a watch, whether it's a ticket to a training. For example, we use retargeting for the World Chiro Conference. And the cool thing is you can target people with a particular retargeting script for each of your pages. So for example, we're giving you this as a generic one, but we will have the ability for you to update that if there's a specific retargeting script for each page. And I've got to talk to Matt about that. But if you have a different product, like for example, right now we're on our new website, totalpreneur.com, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. And each of our sales pages will be different. And if you're doing any affiliate marketing, each of your affiliate deals will be different. You'll probably be in different areas. So it will absolutely magnify your results and multiply your results if you add retargeting. And the cool thing about retargeting is the way you set up your account, you can set it up where you're going to be paid on clicks. And if you're paid on clicks, the only people that are going to click on it on your ad are the people that haven't bought. If they bought, they're not going to click. So you actually every click means something. You see. So and by the way, the only people that are going to see that ad are the people that clicked into your website, that clicked onto that page. In other words, it's only appearing to people that have already seen your first advertising. So it's very, very targeted, inexpensive to do, but so powerful.
So you have to be running a Google AdWords campaign or a Facebook campaign.
Yes, yeah, and all you're going to do is generate your ads and populate them. So yeah, you do. And I just want to be clear the way I'm saying it, because the way you said it, for anybody that's new to this, I don't want anybody to feel that running a campaign is a big deal. It's not. It's really not. I mean, like I said, if I can do it, you guys can do it. I think the biggest thing for anybody when they're starting a campaign is the fear of, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Well, not doing it is doing it wrong. Doing it and all is doing it right, because you're taking action. So it's the momentum that I want you to have. Let me see. Francois has a question, and I want to see if I can get that here. Someone's making coffee. How disrespectful. Okay. So that's Wolfie. I love Wolfie. Let's see if I can get her off. Ask me about images for social. Okay. Remind me about that, Cynthia, because I want to get through this first. Okay. The update is posted, Wolfie, in the members area. Okay, cool. Do you use all-in-one SEO? We do use all-in-one SEO. When we upgraded WordPress, our optimized press got messed up too, by the way. And yes, it is recorded. So, okay. Okay, perfect. All right, so cool. So let me keep going here. So far we're cool with this. All right, and again, you won't need to see the defaults section once you put your defaults in. So it'll just be on a tab at the top, just to keep things easier for navigation. Then moving down, oh wait, I'm sorry, I want to get back to retargeting here for a second.
Ken, can I?
Yeah, Chiwa.
I just wanted to ask you, this thing you showed us where you went over on the left-hand side and you clicked on SiteWrap under iBoostify there, and this blue screen came up.
Yeah.
Has that been there all the time?
It's been there for the past 6 weeks.
Ah, okay, because I wasn't aware of that. I've been filling it in individually each time.
Well, you can. I mean, no.
Yeah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry. Yeah, right. No, the defaults have been there. Absolutely.
Okay.
And they have. Congratulations. We've made it so much easier for you guys to do. And although because you hadn't filled in defaults, therefore when you're making your apps individually, they weren't self-populating. Oh well. Okay. Well, now it'll be easier for you. I do want to spend just another second on the reasoning for retargeting, because for those of you that have been in some of our recent webinars and are just getting started with us today, I've done a lot of webinars with my buddy Jim Graham, and okay, whoever's like scrunching paper or something, please mute yourself. Thanks. Okay. Anyhow, the Jim did he's a real big Facebook guy, does a lot of marketing on Facebook. And I was with him a few years ago in Chiang Mai, Thailand at an event. And I watched him over the course of 2 days generate $24,000 of affiliate commission. $24,000 of affiliate commission. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's like, it was like watching a slot machine, and it was insane what he was doing. So regardless of how great he was on Facebook, I mean, that was a lot of money. You got to think about what the dynamics of this were and what the dynamics would have been for him had he known about SiteWrap and had SiteWrap been available to him. See, here's the thing. The product was a $1,000 product. He made $24,000, which means that at a 50% commish, that was 48 products being sold. This was SkyBuilder was the product. So if he had 48 that were sold, and that would reflect maybe a 1% conversion rate, if that would have been like 4,800 clicks coming through. Now, I think he figured it was really more like 0.5%. But even if it was just 5,000 clicks coming through, if he had wrapped the offer, think about this now. If he had wrapped the offer and added retargeting to it, the people that came in that only saw it once, they were gone. But if they saw it once and then they saw the ad for Site Builder or Sky Builder rather, again and again and again for the next 2 weeks, how many more sales would he have generated? I dare say he might have doubled. He might have doubled because of the continuing view of, oh, this thing is all over the place. This is really good. I should really do this. There's a lot of social proof in that, even though all this is an ad. So it's really, really interesting how the power of that really works. And then, of course, the other piece of it is that if he had an exit pop up or an option to go to another page, like we show you in SiteWrap, then he would have generated a list from that as well. Because when he's sending people from Facebook to this offer, so he's got like 5,000 people going to that Sky Builder sales page. He has no clue who went to that sales page. He has no records. He has no stats. He has no benefit of any of the traffic coming to his website, nothing. So the success that he had was absolutely tremendous. But the opportunity that he missed, and again, he didn't know about it, was huge. By the way, whoever's typing right now, if you would mute yourself, for whatever reason, you got heavy fingers. So that's cool. All right. All right. So let's keep going here. Any questions on that before I go further? Just want to make sure I get you guys all covered up. Okay. So next, going down, and again, this will be in tabs, so you won't have to scroll down, is the funnel creation tool. And I'm going to take you through this. And the first thing, and what the funnel creation tool will allow you to do is, number one, create a single wrapped page without having to go into creating a page itself. You can do it right here. Or it'll allow you to create multiple pages. Scrolling down, you'll be able to create a full campaign, a page after page after page that connect to each other. Okay. So, and by the way, the objective for today also was to not have you see all these other pages, but have them just appear, add new page. So that will be dynamic as well. But again, we just ran out of time. So I want to make sure that you were, okay, Matt is here. Thank goodness. Let me upgrade you, Matt, and unmute you. So, and now I can tell stories about you to your face. Okay. So let me just unmute you real quick, Matt. So, or if you're not unmuted, just pop in and say hello as soon as you get yourself set up in there. Okay. So, excuse me. Okay. So we'll start off by creating one page, just so you can see the easier way to create a page. So you'll go in and you'll notice, by the way, that there's an automatic check mark right over here that says use these details to make a wrap page. To do your first page, if you're doing one page, you got to use this information. So we've just defaulted that for you. Okay. Now we're going to create, and we can wrap your own pages today. I'll do this. We'll wrap some of your own pages this morning or this evening for you guys in the US. So if somebody wants to give me a page, we'll go ahead and put the page in. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to call it wrap whatever. So who's got a page they want me to wrap? Don't be shy. Come on. Somebody give me a page. Okay.
Michaela.
Consciousness.com.
So hang on a second. I got Kiki. She's put it in there. So hang on a second. Let me just put Michaela's in here first. What's it called? Key concepts.
Key concepts.
Okay. So whoever popped in, I'm gonna do you next.
That's two eyes.
Yeah, I know, but that's just hang on. I won't.
Sorry.
That's okay. So no. This is the title. So the title doesn't go anywhere. That's just for us in the WordPress thing. Okay. And Matt, I don't know what happened to your mic. Can you speak, Matt? Because I can't see a mic for you. I made you an organizer, but I don't see a microphone. Okay, that's weird. I thought I unmuted you, but not connected to audio. All right, Matt, if you can hear me, you need to come back in again so we can get you to connected to audio, okay? Okay, the next thing is make sure that your wrapped URLs have an HTTP. Now, we pre-populated this for you. If you take it out, or if for example, Michaela put in the chat, she put in the HTTP already. So if I do it twice, your wrap won't work right. So I'm just going to just paste, and there it is right there. But make sure the HTTP is in. You don't need the www, but you do need the HTTP, okay, or HTTP, whatever. You need that. Because if you don't have it, your app will not work. And if you get a 404 error, for example, on your wrap, that's probably why. And then you'll need to go into the actual wrapped page directly and just make the edit. And I'll show you where we can do that as well. Because as I demoed this yesterday, guess who made that mistake? And that's why you have the HTTP in there so you don't screw it up. Okay, now the banner URL. The banner URL is your return to home URL. And again, we'll have a little hint on that because while it makes sense, that's the link on the banner. Oh, there it is. There's your tooltip right there. Enter the URL of the page you want to go to upon clicking the banner. Okay, so we do have it in there. I guess I'm just too impatient to wait for it to populate itself. So that's what the banner link URL is. So let's take it. Who is the next one? Who's the next person that had a site you want us to go to that chattered it out?
It's me, Aileen. Hi, I put it in the chat box.
I was just putting loving consciousness.
Okay, hang on. I got Aileen. So I manifesting with moon cycles. So let's go click this. In this case, by the way, I'm going to put it in. If I'm going to do a funnel, I don't need to put it in because the next page is going to populate that banner link URL. So that's something that Matt's going to have to clarify so that you guys don't need to worry about that. But if you put something in, it will still get overwritten. Okay. So I see you here, Matt, but I don't see you. I'll make you an organizer again. I think your volume. Here we go. Okay. I think now it'll work. And you can unmute yourself. Okay, so that's where it's going to go next. The zoom level, again, is defaulted to 100%. And, you know, I still want Matt to change that to the 100% showing up. And then the top image URL comes directly from your defaults. And your top image height comes from your defaults as well as your background color. So that's as easy as it is to do a wrap. Then I just hit the create button. So let's create it. When you create the wrap, you'll see on the top, congratulations, your wrap funnel has been created. And there's the actual page name. Okay. So if I click on, and I'm just going to do it with a command so I can not lose my page. I click here on the wrap. As easy as that, there's Michaela's page loading up. Okay. So there it is. Cool. So your wrap was made that simply straight from here without having to go into setting up a page, creating a page, or anything like that. All right. Now, I want to take you back to the control panel, or to the page section. And by the way, any questions, real quick? Any questions so far? Okay. So let me go then to all pages.
Yes, actually, I do have a question.
Okay.
Do you suggest we do some sort of a network where we do wrap each other's pages?
You know, that's a great idea. And I would love to have Gino on that if Gino was here. And I don't see her here today. But I think it's a good idea because if you're going back and forth to each other, you should be able to get cross-links. So it's not a bad idea. And I think what we want to do is actually look at that as a strategy and talk about that together. In other words, you know, put something together for all of us to work with each other. It's a very good idea.
Ken?
Yes, sir.
Relevance.
We could ask Gina tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Oh, you know, tomorrow morning, New Year's Day. Oh, that's right. Tomorrow morning for me is New Year's Day. Sorry. Yeah. Gary makes Gary makes a really good point. Gary, why don't you repeat yourself? I heard the one word says a whole ton right there.
Relevance.
Relevance.
Important.
Yeah. If
Google not only looks at the links, but because of one of its previous animals earlier on this year, if the links were coming from unrelated or what appeared to be non-logical areas, they looked on that darkly. So
yeah, right. That's very, very, very true. Yes.
Yeah,
Relevance
sure is.
Relevant.
True.
Sure is.
It may be a bit an offer idea to turn around and say, I am in the personal development, or I have a site in here. Some people may have a portfolio of sites and they're looking to do to build SEO linking from it. However, we would need to take into account footprints because Google is very good at finding footprints.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't like what it finds, it brings a sledgehammer down.
Yeah, really, really good point, Gary. Thank you. By the way,
Ken?
yes, sir.
Yeah, just a bit further on this relevance thing. It is a definite must-have that you got to show relevance, otherwise they're just going to frown up on you for having the link. But the thing to consider here is this is an iframe. They can't read iframes, so they cannot assess if that page is relevant. There's no SEO on it, nothing.
That's a very interesting conversation there. So you're getting the visitors. Well, actually, the link isn't going to matter then because if they can't read anything, it may not matter.
Google can't assess it to see if it's relevant because it's not going to assess the rest of your site and say, oh, this entire site's relevant, because it's not the site that's linking to it, it's the page that's linking to it.
Yeah, very interesting.
Wolfgang, my comment was that when it sees an iframe, it sees it as a blank page.
Yes, that's right.
Therefore, it's not a relevant page. Not necessarily the relevance of car racing with book publishing with energy work.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. I'm just structuring it different because I was a bit lost there at the beginning when you were saying it. That's all. But yeah, you're totally right. It sees it as nothing. And if nothing links to something, then you're not showing relevancy, and it can be interpreted as coming from, say, a link farm or something like that, which they totally frown on.
Yeah, we may not want to do that. So we can research a little bit further, but probably not such a good idea based on the experts.
Actually, that brings up.
Go ahead.
That brings up another question.
Okay.
We talked a few weeks ago about whether to make the links no follow.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then you're saying how if it were an affiliate link that it would be fine to let it be a follow link, but if it's coming up as a blank page, maybe it's good to make all of them no follow links.
Gentlemen?
Well, there's no benefit for the end user, put it that way.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to consider when we talk about SEO juice. Correct?
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
But what's your aim? Your aim is to get people, this is the way I see it, your aim is to get people to the end destination, right? Yeah.
I think, excuse me, Matt, is that you, Matt, talking?
No,
it's Wolfgang.
That's Wolfgang.
Okay, I was just wondering if you were on the call when we were talking about that. I don't know. It wasn't the last time. I think it was a couple of times before. I don't remember when it was. But
I've missed a few calls. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think you were
See
there.
How you are.
But we could, this is a very important stuff because we were talking about whether we should allow these wrap sites to be indexed or not, or whether we should take them off the sitemap.
Well, you can't index them. Oh, actually, I was there for that one. Yeah, you can't get them indexed because they've got nothing to assess it on. Right. Because like the previous gentleman, and I'm sorry, I just forgot your name, stated very correctly that it is a blank page basically. There is nothing there. So if they can't establish relevancy, then there is no way in hell that you're ever going to get it into a ranking system. And that goes the same for Yahoo and Bing.
So does it matter whether it shows up on the sitemap or not? I mean, do we have to go in there and remove them, or does it matter?
This is a personal thing. If a page does not boost any aspect of my website, then I don't show it.
Okay.
So if a blank page can't do anything for your website, so I don't show them.
Well, I guess I better clean up all those pages that I've let float around. Not, wait even before the wrap.
Put it this way, I'm not sure if it can harm you. This is just, like I said, a personal thing.
Okay. Great, thanks.
And the thing about SEO is that I always get a little bit confused because it's almost like an art, and so everyone has a different opinion. I'm sure that if we had 100 people on the call, there would be 2 more people that would say, "But I don't think that's right." So don't freak out. You know what I mean? You're not doing anything that's going to harm yourself. And that's from me as a layman, because I am not an SEO expert. So
and that's why I said it's a personal preference.
Right, exactly. So, and Wolfie, since you're talking right now, you raised a question, which is something I neglected to mention. So thank you for asking that question. What Wolfie asked was, but what about as I made the page, what about the blank page template? Where you didn't set your template. And that's absolutely right. I forgot to do it because you don't have to do it anymore. The template selection is gone. No reason to do it anymore because Matt has integrated the template selection into the software automatically.
So we can remove that blank PHP file?
Yeah, you can do that. It's in the new version, it's all integrated. And we did that because as plugins change, if you change, I'm sorry, excuse me, if you change your theme, it could mess up all your pages. And how do you think we learned that one? So
oh yeah,
right?
That's wonderful.
Right? So
no, I mean, it's wonderful. Yeah, good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was a wonderful day. Lots of expletives from me on that one. So now it's integrated. So yeah.
So the pages that we've already wrapped, that we selected blank page for, those are automatically put into your system and all taken care of for us, and we don't have to go back and do anything, right?
Well, the pages that are there right now are going to work fine. Nothing's changed.
Right.
If you change your theme, which the odds of you changing your theme, Chiwa, are slim to none. If you change your theme, because, for instance, if you're using My Instant Theme for Business, that has a blank page template, which you would have chosen. Someone's got some noise in the background.
Ken?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I may interject.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you who have already created pages previously using the previous versions, once you upgrade, what's going to happen is if you go to your page edit modes on your dashboard, you're gonna see that there is now a box for categories on your pages. For you to be able to use the new way of putting in the templates, you have to select your page wrap to be of the IB SiteWrap category. Once you do that, then the override takes place.
Okay, so for if someone's going to change things around by changing, and I've got the category on the screen right now, so you'll notice, by the way, the category was automatically checked for us when we created that wrap for Michaela. So Matt, that being the case, if someone changes the category, it will automatically change the template at the same time.
If the page is not of category IB SiteWrap, then the plugin will not override the default template that's being used.
Okay, so for anybody that's going to be changing a theme and maybe breaking the blank page, if you went from a theme that had a blank page to one that doesn't have a blank page in it, you just want to go into your category box and just click IB SiteWrap, and then it'll cover it. Is that what you're saying, Matt?
Correct.
Okay.
So I want to be sure I got this. We have to go back in and on the ones we've already done and choose IB SiteWrap?
No, you don't have to do anything. But if you were if you were to change your theme, okay, if you were to change your theme, the template that you originally chose might not work. In other words, if you chose a template, for example, with your current theme, which is My Instant Theme for Business, and you were to change to, for example, the WordPress 2014 theme, your SiteWrap won't work. I mean, it'll work, but it'll be not on the blank page. If that was the case, then you would go into the categories, as you see on the screen right over here where my mouse is, and you would just switch the category to IB SiteWrap, and that would automatically take care of it for you. So nobody needs to do anything at all unless you're changing your theme. All right, but we made this change so that if you ever wanted to make a theme change in the future, and if you had 100 wrap pages, you would not be liking me very much, right? So we took care of that right at the top. Now, by the way, when this is the inner guts. Now, Chiwa, when you were making your wrap pages, this is where you started. You started with the actual button right over here, the little blue box. Okay, you can still use the blue box. I'm not going to click it right now because I'd have to go through everything with it, but you can still use the blue box the old way. No big deal. Very simple to do. The thing I want to show you here, though, is that if for some reason you typed in the wrap target wrong, and I did that earlier today. I misspelled a word. Shameful, I know, but I did. You can go right back in here and you can just correct it right in the language. Matt, I do want you to add the language on the top that we had before that said don't mess with this language unless you know what you're doing. So, like they do not try this at home. But if you
gotcha.
Okay, but yeah, but just for people that really aren't familiar, and that may be your VAs, whoever. But very simple. The target, it says SiteWrap target. So here's the keyconcepts.com right there. The return home page is the manifesting moon cycles, which you'll see in a second. The Zoom one and the top image. So it's all the stuff that we populated. It's just in an ugly format, unattractive format. Let me put it that way. But if you actually look at it and pay attention to it, it's pretty simple and makes a bunch of sense. So if you did type it in wrong, or if you forgot the HTTP, which since we put it in for you, if you forgot it, something's wrong. But if you did it twice, if you pasted it in and HTTP was in there twice, as I've done in the past, it's just really easy to correct just by going in here and fixing it. Any questions? Okay, so I want to show you something else that's...
It is so ingenious. I just really, I am so in awe of this. This is awesome.
Thank you. We like hearing that. And that was Matt in the background, by the way, who actually wrote all this stuff. So this is cool. And by the way, you'll see him right here as the author of this page. One thing that we're gonna be changing, because I was like, I made this wrap. Why is the author of it Matteo? And the reason that he's the author of it is because at the moment it defaults to the master administrator, the administrator of creation of the actual site. So that we're going to be modifying that again with the next version so that it will be the logged in user that's the default author. But if you want to change the author, you can go in and you can just edit and just change the author that way. So it's not a big deal. But yesterday I wrapped all these pages and I was like, why didn't I wrap them and why did you wrap them? So that's what that's about. Matt created this URL for us, so he's the administrator there. Okay. Also, we talked a few weeks ago about organizing everything with parent pages, and that's how we've all been doing. Or at least that's how I've been doing my page setup. By categorizing them right now, you can go. They're all going to be listed in categories, so you can index them just that very way. Now, at the moment, they're showing up at the end because the rest of these pages have no categories. You do not need to categorize any of your normal pages. Okay, normally you wouldn't do that with WordPress anyway, so you don't need to start now. But at this point, though, since all your pages are going to be categorized as IB SiteWrap, it's just an easier way to file them so you can find them all in one place. We may be modifying the filing system and putting them somewhere else using a different system in the future to keep things easy. But I'm going to unmute you, John. But at any rate, this will make things a lot easier. John, if you would mute yourself, that'd be cool.
Thanks.
No problem. But that's an easier way to keep things filed away. Any questions? Okay. So
does that mean that we don't need to call them like in the past we've been putting the word wrap or something in the beginning that we can identify? Can we pull it up by category in some way that makes sense so we can find those all together?
You can
without
search,
doing that.
You can pull, for example, you have a category list here. Okay, so you can scroll down. And you'll see it all under the category. So they will, like, for example, I can't. The one thing is I can't click. Matt, can you adjust this so that they can actually click on category or something so they sort by category? Do you see how I can sort by?
Or if we could search by category.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing is if you see on date, I can go ahead and I can sort by date, which has always been a real ease for me. I want to be able to actually click the category piece and be able to scroll down to the category. I'm still calling them wraps.
Ken, you're dealing with pages, not posts.
Right. So
sorting on categories is available. Previous versions were available only under posts in WordPress.
Right. Right. But what Matt did is he put it into pages. So what we need to do is see if we can't, since he already forced this in or programmed it in whatever fashion, if he can go ahead and give us the same searchability like we do on Date, then that will allow everybody to be able to pull their wraps together. Otherwise, the ability for us to identify the wraps in one place still doesn't exist. Matt, do you follow what I'm saying there?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm still calling them wraps. And I would, or you can do a W dash or something so that people don't know what, I mean, I don't think it really matters, but I'm not going to change my nomenclature at this point, but we did add the category piece to keep it easier for him to program and add some of those features for you. So if we can make this more dynamic, then it'll be a lot easier.
Ken,
yeah.
Ken, you had designated a category for your pages, hadn't you?
No, because you couldn't categorize pages before. What I did was I created a parent page.
That's right. It was a parent page. Okay,
yeah, we did parents. So that's what we did. Okay, so I want to show you how that looked on this. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you how we do the funnel. So, any questions before I go ahead and do that for you real quick?
Just to make it easier
one more.
for
do we have to get rid of the parent? I mean, now we can get rid of the parent page because we can see that they are done by category.
Well, I wouldn't get rid of the parent page just yet, Chiwa, until we sort out this business with the categories, just for finding it. You don't have to. I mean, the parent page just makes it easier for you to locate. So it's not going to hurt you or help you. It's not going to it won't make any difference. The only difference.
It's minor question.
Yeah. Well, no, it's so reasonable because, for example, with me on when I do the wraps on iBoostify, the actual page is iBoostify.com/A, which is my category, or I'm sorry, my parent /the wrap page. So the logistics of the actual URL are slightly different, and so it's just a slightly different URL. In this case, you don't need or you don't use the parent, so it's your URL /wrap page. You know, you're missing that one little element, which won't be there now unless you go back and put the category in. Because I'm sorry, not category, put in a parent. What if you set it up the way we did with the builder? So, and I'll take you right back to it. There's no place for you to go ahead and put in a parent because Matt added the category. You see, so it doesn't. There's no reason for that now. But I wouldn't go ahead and change things. You don't need
to. Ken?
Yeah, Wolfie.
In regards to the categories, could you just go back to the pages screen?
Sure.
I just wanted to show people a big time saver.
Okay.
At the moment, you've only got one that's categorized. All right.
Correct.
If you want to categorize all of them really quickly, simply hover over the actual name of the page, and a quick edits option will come up.
Okay, let's
go into the click on that.
Hang on a minute. Yep. Okay.
You'll get the edit and the quick edit.
Yeah.
Yep. Go into that.
Okay.
And then there you got the categories in the middle. Simply click there and go update.
Yeah. Click here and then what?
Yep, click that and then go update bottom right hand.
Oh, right, and that'll put the category in there for you.
And that's done the category. You don't actually have to call the page up. Now the benefit of if you want to go ahead and actually categorize them all, there are some XML sitemap generators plugins that will exclude categories, not just pages but categories. So now that you've got all these wrap pages in a category, you can just do all of them in one foul swoop. You don't have to get individual page numbers anymore.
Oh, cool. Right? And by the way, you can put your parent pages, if you're going to keep your parents, you can still do parents right from here too. So
yeah.
So you're good with that. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Wolfie. Excellent. Okay. So we can close that up. And any other questions? I thought I heard someone else had a question in the background. Okay.
Yeah, Ken, this is John.
I had the same.
I was.
Oh, okay, John first, and then
I was wondering. Okay, you said in the past that you couldn't categorize pages, and I never thought about it actually.
Right.
So is this a change y'all made to WordPress with this wrap so that you can categorize pages?
Yes, sir.
Or is that something
No,
recent?
Matt
Okay.
did. Matt did it. Matt made it
All right,
happen.
cool.
Yep. Matt made it happen. Okay.
I have a question, Ken.
Hello, Julianne. Good to see you.
Hi. Yes. In that last example where he showed that you could check the category you wanted in, and then he said something about the bottom right. I didn't get. So after you check that box.
Oh, that was the publish box. Let me go back.
Update box.
Yeah, update. Hang on. Let me go.
If you would just like sort of.
I'm going to show you. Hang on. I'm going to show you.
Thank you.
No worries, darling. Okay, you see right here on the bottom right? It says update.
Got it.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh, okay. I just click update and then it'll show up under categories.
Yep.
The name of the category. Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I couldn't see it because my GoToWebinar control panel was covering it over. So
yeah, me too. Actually, that's exactly my
right.
think.
Right. Yeah. Actually, now I'm scrolling it up. It's moved up a little bit. So yeah, I'll tell you what, the quick edit thing is a real godsend. If you're not using it, you're probably because, like, for example, you want to change the author. I could change the author to me, for example, right there, very easily. Okay. So if for some reason over the next few days you're not happy that the page, and by the way, no one the authorship doesn't matter on a page. It's not a post. On a post, it'll show up. On a page, it won't. So it's not going to matter at all. But if you didn't want it to show up in the name of your admin, if it was somebody other than you, you can quickly go ahead and make the thing here and just hit the update button and bam, it's done. That's simple. Okay.
I'm assuming you have a reason that you don't actually want to make those changes.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like if you did it, that would be real clear for us. But I understand you might not want to make those changes. Is that correct?
Which changes? You mean by
changing? That's an example that you could create a category name there.
Well, I don't categorize pages, so I didn't change. I can change the category page. It won't make any difference. But I didn't. I mean, I would normally change it to a SiteWrap page, but like the WordPress sample page, which comes up automatically. What category? What category would I put it in? And I'm not sorting. I'm not doing a site map on this site yet. Anyway, the site is brand new. As you can see, there's like no pages.
Okay, got it.
But again, nobody has ever had the ability to I shouldn't say it this way because there's always an exception, but WordPress does not give you the ability to categorize your pages. So I'm not showing you anything.
So that's the post.
Yeah, I'm not showing right, exactly. I'm not showing it to you because you wouldn't do it. Okay. So this was
you would do that post? Yeah.
We just gave you the categorization automatically to allow you to sort better.
Okay, but we would use that for posts then, is that correct?
For posts, not for pages. And we're using SiteWrap on pages.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. No problem. Yeah, Chiwa.
About the author. You said real quickly a while ago that if you wanted to have somebody different than you be the author, you could do that in the edit something. Yeah. I didn't get that.
I'll show you. Hang on. Okay, back over here on the left-hand side, you see where I got the sample page, and I just got the quick edit, trash, view, clone page. You see that? What?
Yeah.
Okay, click on quick edit, and see where my mouse is, where the author is. I just did the drop down.
Yeah, that I see. But how do you get those names in there in the first place?
Oh, those are your users based upon their their profile. So.
Okay, got it.
Okay, simple.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Ken, John.
Hey, John.
Yeah. It seems to me that the site wraps I've done have been on posts.
And they have. They shouldn't.
Isn't that right?
No, they're pages.
They should be on pages.
They're pages. Yeah. They should be pages. If you're doing them on posts and they're working, cool. That's we never designed it that way.
Oh.
But if it's working, then that's cool.
Maybe he's
I haven't done
confused
anything
because
in a
weeks,
post, so that's why I don't know.
In a curated post, you might have links that you want to wrap, but then you set those links up as wrap pages.
Correct. Exactly.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I apologize for forgetting.
No, it's okay. You are as human as the rest of us, my friend. So which is in itself its own little problem. So
Yeah.
right? Okay. So any other questions?
So much for my ego.
No, don't worry about it. We don't, believe me. Don't worry about it. Okay. So any other questions there? Okay, you guys had some good questions, some good clarifications. So I thank you for that. Okay. So now let me quickly show you how to do a funnel. Okay. And it's nothing different than what we've already done. It's just that we're doing it a couple more times. So we start out same way at the top. So let's a couple of you guys had some sites you wanted me to do. So let me quickly go up. I saw Julianne choose joy anyway. So we'll start with that. And let me just quickly show you. I'm gonna wrap 3 pages as a funnel for you. Okay. So the first one we'll do this as choose joy anyway, which is a great thing to do for this year. And the URL is choosejoyanyway.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, now Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not need to add anything in this wrap in the banner link, because the next section down here for the second page will fill that in. Is that correct?
It's actually the first page, so you will have to put in a link there.
On the first page?
You don't have to put a link. You don't have to put a link on the second and subsequent pages.
Okay. Okay, cool. So let me see. Who do we want to do next? Let's do, I see Wolfie put his thing in, so let me just put Wolfgang in real quick, which is webmutationthebook.com. That's where we'll go next.
I have something I want to say real quick.
Yeah.
I'd like to say something to Julianne. I just want you to know that last year you gave me your business card, and it sits on my desk, and your beautiful face smiles at me and gives me a lot of courage very often. I just want you to know that.
Thank you. Who is that?
That's Michaela.
Michaela. You probably don't even remember me. Nobody does.
Oh, stop.
Michaela, we all remember you.
Stop that.
You'll remember after the goose.
Stop.
Oh, yeah. We'll never forget you now, Michaela.
Now Julianne, are you going to be on the cruise next week, in 2 weeks?
No, sorry, I can't handle it this year.
Too bad. Well, we'll talk about you behind your back then. So.
Okay,
Okay.
Will you talk about me too?
Well, yeah, we always talk about you. Okay, let me get back.
Nice things though.
Sometimes. All right, let me get back to this because I want to stay focused here. Okay, so, and by the way, for those of you guys that are new to us today, this is the environment that we want you to be enjoying. We really want you to be having fun with us, because this is really, if there's no fun, you shouldn't be doing it. And I got some announcements to make too, so I want to get through this so I can get to the cooler stuff. Okay, so Matt, where I'm putting in Webmutation the book, then I'm going to be putting it back a second time down here in the green section. Is that correct? Because that's the URL for the second one.
Correct. But the banner link on the first page,
yeah,
where it says banner link URL,
yeah,
that's where you want them to go back to, which isn't part of the funnel, or so to speak, because this is going to be your first page.
Well, the first page is the beginning of the funnel, so it's going to take the first page takes them to the second page, which is the green area, right? Because
I don't get the relationship if you're putting his URL
right.
as a banner and mine as the wrapped page. Can you say what relationship?
Yeah, let me explain that in a second, because Matt just, I think, sent you guys down the wrong path. So Matt,
thank you.
Just no problem. We want to take care of this before we started this morning, but we didn't get to it. So this section here where I'm highlighted right now, should that be filled in or not filled in on a funnel?
On a funnel, it doesn't matter.
That's what I thought. So I'm going to delete it. Okay, that'll make it easier for everybody that's watching this tutorial, and it'll make it easier for everybody that's listening to us right now. This is what I want to talk to you about in terms of what people see. So the wrap banner. Hang on, let me just finish the thought for you guys. Okay, what we're doing when we make a funnel is we're doing. Let's say in this case we're taking 3 pages. Page 1 or wrap page 1 will be Julianne's choose joy, anyway page. Say that 3 times fast. When people are done on that page and they click the return home button, that will take them to wrapped page number 2, which in this screen is green. Okay, that's the second page in our funnel. When they finish that page, the header link will take them to the 3rd page in your funnel of where you want them to go. Okay, that's the purpose of the funnel creator. Okay, so to make it easy for you and build it for you, you're just going to go from one page to the other. So the banner link URL, Matt, should be optional. In other words, if you're doing a single page, then that belongs here. But if they're doing a funnel, it doesn't belong here. Does that make sense? Or no. does it need to be there?
No.
Actually, that confuses what you said a few weeks ago, Ken, when you said that when you're working on a funnel, you're starting from the inside out, not from the outside in.
I know, but what we've done here
means that your first page is the one that should get its final destination where you want people to go to.
Well, hang on. What we did, by automating it, Wolfie, we did it for you. So if you're doing it manually, you start with the back, with the back at the back to the front.
Right.
But Matt, what's the story here?
Ken, can I suggest that we stop at the moment?
Yeah.
Confusion is arising.
Yeah.
We will do a map step by step. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do that. Step 3, and make it available.
Gary, that is so smart.
Unclear,
Thank you.
That is so smart.
If it is still unclear, we'll deal with it in the next conversation.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you know what? We'll do is let me go ahead and I'll shoot a video of that for you guys, along with that. Okay. Because what'll happen? Well, actually, you know what? Let me just continue. I can just get this done. But yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see.
Can we start with what is a funnel? Is this like a chain of? Is this what you were talking about before, like a daisy chain of one page going to another page?
Exactly. Okay. Right now, when you do a wrap, you indicate where you want them to go back to, right? So in some cases, you're taking them back to your home page, or you're taking them back to another offer, or you're taking them back to the blog post where they were. But what a lot of affiliate marketers want to do is they take them to one offer, and when the offer is completed, if they don't accept the offer, where do you want them to go next? You can take them back to your home page, but why not take them to another offer? You follow? So you can go as deep you can go as deep as you want in the daisy chain. Okay. So what I'm going to do is because obviously we're not clear on our end, and we did this earlier today, that it makes the pages beautifully, but I want to be real clear about what you put in. So I'm going to shoot a video for you guys, and we'll give you a diagram of how it works per Gary's suggestion. It'll be a lot easier and clearer. Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. That's good. So let me see. Let me just go through. I got some people that typed in some questions. So let me see if I can go to the questions here real quick. What's the difference between posts and pages? Really good question, David. When you're doing what's that?
Sorry, it's answered. I've been answering questions
directly. Okay. Well,
so David has got a link.
Excellent. Well,
privately to him.
Okay, cool. Well, for the rest of us that pretend like we know what we're talking about, why don't you give us a quick Reader's Digest condensed answer in terms of the difference between, since I've raised the question.
Okay, rather than going across and repeating everything, what I'm going to do is I'll post it into the chat room.
Okay.
Chat box. Send it to everybody.
Perfect.
And then people can read it at their own pace and then come back with questions if still any exist.
Damn, you're good. Okay, thank you, Gary. Excellent. And by the way, we'll post that in the members area as well. D, did we answer D's question? Okay. Okay, let's see. Yeah, D's saying that she had some problems with our members pages. We had. I'll take a look at that. Apparently, we're having some problem with the members page. They looked okay to me earlier, but we upgraded WordPress, and then we also upgraded Optimized Press, and we've been having some problems with Optimized Press for some strange reason. There is some kind of if you're using OP, by the way, there seems to be, at least for us, a a challenge with OptimizePress right now with the new version of WordPress. So what we did, for example, on this site on totalpreneur.com, we downgraded WordPress last night just to be able to get some of our sales pages up, because I'll tell you what we're doing and invite you guys to play in a minute. So it's just been kind of challenging. Every time my calendar, Michaela's, every time the calendar pops up on my page, she's trying to click on it. That's cute. Let's see. The chat, you'll find, Jocelyn, it should pop up on your it's in your control panel in GoToWebinar. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Hang on, Cindy. I'll unmute you. 1 second. We lost Cindy there for a minute. Where are you? Okay. Hang on. Let me unmute you first of all. There we go. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Can I ask a question now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got an email from a guy from.
Well, hang on a minute. I made you organizer. I might have lost your sound there for a second. Okay.
He was not very happy.
Okay, wait. You got an email from someone who wasn't very happy. I heard the story, so I can't wait for you to share it. So tell everybody what happened.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, Gina and I talked about it.
Not very happy. Yeah, because he said that he started his conversation with, you are plagiarizing me. You have stolen my site, and somehow you have put my site inside of your site. And I'm not sure how you've done that, but I know it can't be legal. And, if you don't respond to me and let me know what's happening, then I'm going to have to take action, and they're going to shut your site down and blah, blah, blah. Well, it took me a while to figure out what the heck he was talking about. And it actually was one of my posts that I wrapped his, I did a curation of his article, and then I wrapped all 4 of his links inside of that. So, all of his affiliate links, which that's all he monetized with, was affiliate links. All of his links were intact, and so I tried to explain that to him, that, everything he had before he still has, and I was just using a mode of curation. But I just wanted to find out from you, is there something legal or non-legal about what we're doing? And if people question us about this, how do we explain this to someone that we've, wrapped their information?
I love it. That's such a great question, and this. I'm so glad it came up. I'm sorry it came up for you, because I heard it. I heard it freaked you out.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it would freak me out initially too as well. Curation is certainly a common element of publishing. Everybody curates. Huffington Post curates. CNN curates. So that's pretty common. I think what we probably want to do, considering what has happened and considering your question, is create for you guys, and Matt, put this on your list if you would, for me, is to create either a 1-page or a paragraph of what curation is for the uninformed. But what you did, and by the way, Cindy, I understand that you went to your web host and you shared with your web host, because you were concerned about getting shut down, what you did, and told them what you did, and they responded to you?
They did, yes. They said, first off, they said that they don't deal with matters like that would not cause them to shut me down. But he said, let me look at your stuff. And he came back to me like within 15 minutes and said, no, you legally did everything. Everything is intact, and it is called curation, and he just obviously hasn't heard of it in his area of the world, and that I did nothing wrong, and that there would be no cause for recourse on the hosting site from what I did.
Perfect. And who is your host?
HostGator.
Okay, perfect. If you'd be willing to share that email with us, what we'll do is, obviously we'll take off your personal stuff, but to have that documentation that, of what you did and what HostGator's response is, that's pretty huge stuff. That will really help us, and also help anybody who's in that same kind of situation. But we do need to obviously create a this is what curation is, and we're only helping you rather than hurting you, and we'll have to create the benefits of curation page that you guys can actually link to. So, or you can put it on your site. I don't care what you do with it, of course, but that will support you should that happen. Because yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people that are incredibly ignorant out there, and ignorant, by the way, means they don't know, as opposed to stupid, which means they're stupid. So ignorance is always very challenging, but education's the answer. And if we if we have it on our site, and we'll keep it on the new site, totalpreneur.com, it'll be an educational page, so you can link to that as a source, as opposed to being something self-serving on your site if you want to take that approach. And you can probably also like look at a Wikipedia entry as well, and see what's there to support you, because that again gives you the quality of information that will it's a social proof.
Is this also something that we should cover in a privacy or disclosure on our website as an extra layer of protection?
You know what? I'm not a lawyer. Although I play one on TV. But my attitude is that the more you disclose, the less you're going to be guilty of anything. And again, there's nothing that we're doing that's wrong. I mean, but if Cindy had changed the wrapped links, if Cindy had changed the affiliate links to her own and so on, that'd have been a different conversation. But because she gave the proper attribution, because she used his links, it only enhanced him rather than hurt him. So if you're gonna curate properly, then certainly there's absolutely nothing wrong. And again, you're helping someone rather than hurting them. So adding something in your privacy, or adding something in a disclosure, or if you even want to do a curation disclosure, you can totally do that. It's not going to hurt you in any way. You know what I mean? And by the way, that does remind me, I've emailed all of you a link to this online legal pages software or plugin that's been for sale over the past few weeks. I bought it, and I emailed people a few times because I want you guys to have, if not that, something else, because there's all sorts of new stuff coming up starting in January. And even if you're not based in the United States, if you got US stuff, I just want to make sure you're protected. So, yeah, it was an affiliate link, and yes, it was a wrapped link, but whether you buy from my link or not is not the issue here. The issue is that you make sure that you have those things handled. So, I encourage you to do that. Yeah, Chiwa.
One thing I would say about that is I was doing Google Talk with Gina this morning, and she said that for bachelors in her bachelor program to hang on because she's negotiating a special price.
Cool. Okay. So we set it, and that was probably after she opened up my link, because I saw her opening up the sales page within 5 seconds of her doing it when I was in my tracking. So
right.
So there you go. But yeah, regardless, we said it. We got a lot of people that have been doing it, and I think it's really important that people have themselves protected, without question. Someone else had a question about that. About Cindy.
Jody has a question that I'd like to respond to.
Yeah.
And the question is it, even though it is legal, is it moral? Now, again, the usual disclaimer, I am not a practicing attorney in your area that you live. However, I believe that if we look at it, that if it is not from a private area, if information has been published, it is in the public domain. If you honor any copyright with it, you are only reporting. Therefore, anybody who requests you to take it down, on what basis? If it is in the public arena, it's in the public arena. If it's in a private arena, it's a private arena.
Gary,
I don't think you've got to get in.
It's a great distinction.
Well, we'll put even more disclaimers somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
My experience with legal cases shows me that if you actually put a disclaimer in there about something, you're in more trouble than if you're silent.
My
personal experience.
Yeah, you make a point.
Throw that out.
You make a valid point, because if you disclaimed it, that means you had to think about it. So there's some premeditation there. But again, we're not doing anything wrong. So again. I'm certainly no attorney, and Gary's no attorney. So, disclose or not disclose, your choice.
Yeah, the thing with that page is what people are forgetting is that because this is so new, there's a lot of totally uneducated people out there. But one thing that you cannot do is you cannot change any detail or aspect of the page that you bring in, correct? Because it's an iframe.
Right.
So if they make amendments, your page is automatically amended. If they put a different name in, your page automatically has a different name. And like it was said, that his affiliate links were not changed either, right? Which, is the way that it should be, because it's his page, so he should get the benefit from it. So what you're actually doing is you're assisting him, you're making him bigger, you're making him more findable on the web than he would have been any other way. So if he's got a problem with that, then he has a problem with Bing, Yahoo, and Google, because they are listing his website as it is all over the place as well, aren't they?
That's true. That's a very good point. It's a very good point. And once something's on the web, it's there forever.
Ken?
Yeah.
I wanted to say one more thing. Is the last thing I did, and it was Gina's suggestion, is we looked at my Google Analytics, and in the last month, since I had wrapped his page and used it in a curation, I had 19 visitors. And I can't remember, they all stayed quite a long time looking, going back and forth to all the links. But I sent him, a snapshot of that and said, this is 19 visitors that came to my site that saw your documentation. And so, it's a win-win.
What do you say to that?
He hasn't responded back yet, but I included that into my email when I sent it to him, and sent him the picture.
Yeah, it's the head between the tails, and geez, I've just made a fool of myself.
Right. Yeah, it could very well be.
Maybe.
But the thing about it is that that certainly Cindy didn't know how to react, because it's something that she didn't expect, and something that I wouldn't have expected either. Now we know that we will come up against some people that are wacky, that just don't know. So
actually, you're not doing
anything. Ken hasn't been asked.
What's
how
that?
Did he know it was wrapped? The obvious question is, how did he know?
Yeah, how did he know?
Right? Yeah, that's right. How did he know?
So that was a question I would ask. Undoubtedly, he's picking it up from his analytics.
Yeah.
His analytics that it's a referrer.
Yeah.
The thing that was crazy about it is that I have two sites. I have a .com and a .org, and the .org is all about HCG, and it's just a website. It's not a blog. So I actually curated it on my blog, and we just recently set my website up so that it pulls my blog RSS feed. So he found it on the blog RSS, or on the website RSS, not actually on my blog, which is where it was originally created.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's your RSS feed that was found by people, and what they're doing is they're following, or they're getting onto your wrap page, then they're navigating around his website. So what Google Analytics is doing is it's picking it up as a point of entry, and by doing so, it also gives him the destination. So he then followed the destination backwards and found out where it's come from.
Interesting.
Because he would have all of a sudden found all these people coming in. So the data that you sent him, he's probably got already anyway, if he's running analytics. And that's how he found you. Because I sometimes, when I have traffic coming from an unusual URL, or a URL I haven't come across before, I follow it back and see how come people are finding that page, and why are they clicking through to me then.
Yeah, and usually you want to do it to reward that and improve that, because that's where it's coming from. Let's get more.
Yeah.
So that's
good could be better.
Yeah, that's tremendous. That's really true. I mean, I think that's on a lot of levels, I think it's great news, because it really does amplify the fact that you're getting it out there and people are seeing it. So that's tremendous. Which
I have a question about time on site.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I understand that when you wrap a page, that keeps giving you all that time on site while they're on their site. You get the time on site. Did they not get that time on site?
They should get it too, because the people are on that page. I don't see why you wouldn't. We've asked the question before, but they should be getting the same thing, because again, where people are visiting their site, they're clicking around on that site, they're clicking links within that site.
So then there's a further benefit right there. Besides the people that you're sending to his site and they can buy all of his goodies, he's getting all that time on site too.
He should be.
You're sending him. If you weren't curating, he wouldn't get that.
Google Analytics is picking him up, so of course.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a win-win for everybody all the way down the line. It's just that some people obviously don't know. Again, we're doing something that's different, and it's different for people at I don't want to say it the way it's going to come out, but at our level, I mean, we're not multi-million-dollar businesses yet. Whereas like Huffington Post is curating, and they got the big dollars. They sold for what $200 million or whatever it was, and I know that number's way wrong. But those guys have had all that technology for a long time. We now have it for a micro fraction, and so it's new to people. They're not used to seeing it. And by the way, Cindy, since you mentioned analytics, we're now, I don't know, a few months into the game. And a lot of you guys should already be seeing analytics. I know some of you already have. Michaela's seen some great analytics. I know, Cindy, you've seen some analytics. I'm going to be emailing you. I meant to get this out yesterday, but I will be emailing you guys over the next couple of days to ask you for snapshots of your analytics as we're ready to launch version 1.0 and going into new webinars and new JVs and so on. As much of the social proof that you can share with us would be really, really, really helpful. And the benefit of that, and I did say something in the email that went out to you. The benefit of that, of course, is that we'll brag about you, which will bring people back to your website. So, milk it, and happy to do that. I would love to see a giant sales page full of testimonials, social proof, videos, screenshots, you name it. Not only will it help us sell a bunch more and build our community, but it will also get you links back to your site. I'm happy to have them go to see you guys as well, because I mean, that's the name of the game. So please do that, especially you guys in beta 1. So that's important. I also want to give you some other news for those of you that are not doing any kind of promotions over the next few days. If you would like to promote a JV that we're not a JV, it's actually our own launch that we're going to be doing within the next 24 hours, I will share with you what we're launching, and you're welcome, and we encourage you to play. And I also want to share with you something that I started doing that I found to be probably one of the best courses I've ever done, and that's Perry Belcher's Secret Selling System. I sent out a link a few weeks ago for Frank Kern's free book, and the Frank Kern free book, which just arrived actually for me yesterday here in Thailand. The back end of that was a $299 Perry Belcher course called Secret Selling System. I bought it. It's incredible. It's really incredible. And I don't think I have a link specifically for that. I think I've got it through the Frank Kern thing, but I can get you all a link if you want to get it. But it changed a lot of what I'm doing. It reminded me about some things that I knew in the past, but Perry's a genius. I mean, he's just really brilliant. And what he's taught, and I can't give you a summary of the whole thing inside of 5 minutes because it's just so much. And I've forgotten probably half of what I learned. I got to go back and go through it again. But I don't usually give great accolades on someone else's course because I'm skeptical and I'm picky, and I've been through a lot of these things. But I was on kind of the edge of my seat for the 3 days that it's a 3-day program. And I was walking all over Bangkok, listening to the video. So that good. One of the things that he talks about is the $7 offer, and the $7 offer, which is what they did with the Frank Kern book, is based on something called a tripwire. And the idea of a tripwire is that you give something away of massive value for like virtually nothing. So an example of that is if you were in the United States in the past, and you heard about Columbia House Records. Columbia House Records would offer like 13 records, CDs, 8 tracks, whatever, for $1. Now that's insanity. I mean, how can you make any money doing that? Well, they made a lot of money doing that. They built a giant list, and that list, they could sell the list, they could email the list of their offers. They made a fortune doing that. That was what they called a tripwire. And everybody signed up for that thing. I know I did, and if you guys did, you can raise your hands. But that was massive, and that brings them into a funnel, and then there's an upsell from there. So keeping within that mindset and following what Perry discussed in that, tomorrow we are launching resolutions for results, which is going to be a $7 program. And this is the beginning of the sales page over here. It is not the prettiest sales page yet, but almost done. And it's $7. It also comes with a planning system, and it comes with an activation webinar that we're doing on Monday night of next week, Monday night USA time. $7, and it's to introduce people to Totalpreneur, which is a new brand of ours, which I'll share with you in a minute, and of course brings them into the funnel. That's the first piece. There's a little video from you know who at the bottom of it, a quick 30-second video, and there you go. For you guys, what I will do is on the front end on the $7. Wow, rather than doing a 50-50 commission, you can have all the $7. Why? Because I want them coming in to, and you would do the same thing when you do your own. You want them to come into your back end and into your list. So you know, $7. You don't care about the $7. $7 is not about making money. It's about building your list and bringing people in. When they come in, they're going to get a video that says congratulations, and I would love to share this video with you because it's really cool, because it's got pictures and video of Nepal. But it brings them into a really good offer, which is $500 of what we're calling my personal excellence bundle, which is our focus factor, which is our law of attraction factor, my mastery method, and the Flex Your Mind program, Flex Your Mind method. All of that together for 2 payments of $47. And there's a model for how much you want to go up in terms of the actual flow. And that's a 50-50 split. So if you guys want to promote, I know Michaela's going to go out and promote with it. Let me know. We'll get you hooked up as an affiliate. This will be done later on today, our time, so you can go ahead and launch it. And it'll launch for a few days until the Monday night when we actually do the webinar. And then that webinar will be tons of content, and there'll be an offer there too. So if you want to play, just drop me a line. Let me know. Happy to have you on board. So that's one little announcement. Then the second thing I wanted to share with you is some new branding that we're putting into place. Hang on a second. Yes, Michaela, the update is released. It's in the members area, and I'll be emailing it to everybody in an email, so you can be lazy and not have to log in. Okay, and I'll get your questions.
Oh, you know, I just wanted to ask you about this this promotion that you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Did you already do we have affiliate links for it? Did I miss that?
No, not yet. You will. And once you tell me you want to play, what I'll do is I'll hook you up, because in Infusions I have to activate the individual program. So
I want to play.
I know. I'll get you. Who said that?
Michaela.
Oh, I knew.
We
took care of that yesterday. Thanks. No problem.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. Being set up for an affiliate is not complicated, Jocelyn. Actually, you guys are all affiliates for SiteWrap. You guys were automatically set up for that. What I've got to do is just click a little button inside of Infusionsoft so that you're authorized for this product. And the reason why it's done that way is because we got a lot of stuff. And if it's automatic for everything, if you went into your affiliate resources, it would just be confusing. So we limit you to what you can see, just so that you know what you're going to promote. You don't want to be promoting things that are unrelated or things that you don't know why you're promoting. So that's what this is. The video also that you're looking at right now on this congratulation page introduces the bigger picture. And the bigger picture, which I may have mentioned to all of you guys, is Excalibur, is the Excalibur Society, which is the annual trips. I shouldn't say annual because it's going to be 4 trips a year, but it's our high-end advanced exclusive group of crazy people that will be, and I say crazy in the nicest Steve Jobs way, people that are changing the world. And the first trip is going to be to Nepal. Many of you know that I just came back about 2 months ago with my mom. We did a 11-day, I think it was 10 or 11 days in Nepal, and trekked up into the mountains. It was just the craziest, most wonderful thing ever. And my mom, by the way, is 79 years old, and she did it. I mean, she just did it without any problem. There's a little video actually in this video. There's a little clip of my mom doing the trekking. We had her on a horse for part of it. So the Nepal trip is going to be amazing, absolutely amazing. It's going to be in September, October. I was originally planning on doing it in May, but moved the dates back to allow more time to get it promoted. And also it will coincide with the Tej Festival, which is this amazing festival. It's the giant women's festival, and there's women dancing in the streets all over Nepal. We got there during this festival, and that's why I wanted to share that with everybody. So, and the day that we got there, it was just like they adopted us. I mean, we kept being brought into people's homes and taking all over the place. It was wonderful. So I'm dancing with all the girls, and it was okay. It was really fun. So
is that the festival where they slaughter all the animals?
You know what? I think they slaughter animals all the time anyway. I don't know. I saw a couple of goats that had made their way, and apparently they're offered they're slaughtered as an offering, and then I guess they're eaten afterwards. Because I asked about that. It seemed like an awful lot of waste of goats. But the emphasis was on women dancing as opposed to like dead animals. So I didn't see a whole bunch of that would have had me say yeah to that question. Anyhow, so Excalibur, the Excalibur trips, which will be multiple trips a year, will not be inexpensive, because we're not going to stay at like Motel 6. We're going to stay at some nice places. We're going to do some really cool things. There's a I should say it or not. There's a few things that are surprises. One of which I'm not sure if I'm going to tell people or not, but I'll tell you guys because we're a small group. We're going to be flying around Mount Everest. We have an early morning flight around Everest. We're not going to climb it, thank God, but we're going to fly it. And it's part of the trip. We're going to do whitewater rafting. There's a lot of really cool things to do. So in this video, it tells people that we'd love for you to come, but the only way you're going to be able to come is to be able to afford it. And it's not just afford the price tag, which is whatever, and we're just finishing up the final numbers on that. But not only is it the price, but it's also the time, because this is a 13-day trip. And if you add the travel both ways and maybe take an extra couple days or see something else or go somewhere else, you need to be able to afford the time away from your office, meaning that you've got to have your ducks in a row and have your assistants in place, your outsourcers doing things and planning in advance to do it right, which really means running a smooth ship, which is what we teach. So that's all preparation. And so starting with your mind and getting yourself into organization focused, having the right positive mental attitude, all of that foundational strength is going to serve you all year long. So that's the mindset of this entire offer. Then that's going to lead people into our new branding, which is called Totalpreneur. Totalpreneur, and let me ask you guys, what does the word Totalpreneur mean to you? What would be your thought pattern of what that word would signify?
I would say that for me, at least, it means not just business, but your complete life.
Good. Thanks, John. Anybody else? Well, you guys are speechless. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was exactly my mindset. I was blown away.
Right. I was at a.
Go ahead. What? Who?
I was at we had a really big year with the nonprofit that is my client, and every time they would talk about some new thing that would happen, I would talk about some way of reaching the audience. And the executive director said to me, "Wow, you're just always thinking like a marketer." I said, "Well, yeah, you need to grab and grasp every opportunity." So Totalpreneur for me is about being able to see the opportunities and jump on them when you see them, like an early adopter.
Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else?
Well, it sounds to me like it's a broad interpretation of preneur, which is kind of intriguing, but I don't know specifically in what way. So that part is intriguing, but a little bit mystifying.
Cool.
Is my volume on?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, my take on it, it's like mental, physical, spiritual, business, life, relationships, everything.
Cool. Thanks, David.
Yeah, it says integration. It really says integration very well.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll tell you what, you guys, one of the big things that I picked up when I was at the Mind Valley training in Kuala Lumpur a few months back was the Vishnu Lakhani who created this thing, and it's like a $20+ million company now. I think their valuation's like over 60 million is what they've said. They've done an amazing job. And what he says is that every day when he begins his day, he meditates. And that's a requirement. Before anything else happens, he meditates. And, you know, it's interesting because we look at meditation. Some people look at meditation, and I know as a type A crazy person, I'll look at it sometimes and go, I don't have time to sit still. I got stuff to do. However, it's the wisdom between words. You know, it's a silence is the wisdom between words. Staying still, journaling, swimming, whatever it is that you do to meditate can allow so many cool thoughts and cool solutions to take place and to occur. It's really remarkable in my experience. And in last week, and thinking in terms of what I wanted to do for the future and what I wanted to create for a group of people and for an educational system that will support the software that we sell. I mean, you know, quite frankly, SiteWrap is great, but without understanding the purpose for it, without understanding the philosophy for it and the strategy for it, and really how you use it to build your business, you know, it's like having a car without a destination. So the word totalpreneur just came to me, and sure enough, it was available. So we're trademarking it. Yep, we own the URL. We own totalpreneur.com, which is what we were demonstrating SiteWrap on a little bit ago. And we were creating the Institute for Totalpreneurship, which will have all of our training inside of that, and then our software will still stay within iBoostify. So iBoostify will support the Institute for Totalpreneurship. So, and by the way, you're seeing this before anybody else. I mean, this is not even the final logo yet. We're still working on that, on the graphics of it. But I'm sharing this with you as we begin the following year, because people have said, "But Ken, you had Boost Your Practice, and you got this, and you got that." And I'm like, yeah, you know, we needed to find the right place for everybody to be. And so, to me, I see Totalpreneur as someone who does everything, you know, who has the balance of their business, of their life, of their health, of everything. And it's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he took issue with the word balance because, quite frankly, you're going to be out of balance a lot. And the interesting thing is, you know, if you're doing a product launch, you're going to be, I mean, last night I was up till 3:00 in the morning getting ready for today. Is that balanced? Well, if I take a nap today, maybe I would be a little bit more balanced. But was it fun? And the answer is, for me, it was. So there was a balance of being able to enjoy the process. Now, you got to make sure you try and balance the family thing. So bring your family into it a little bit so that they play with it. But it's maintaining that balance, even though you may have some turbulent days or like product launches or challenges with something in your business. If you can, again, restore that and remember what's most important. That's the thing to me that's so important about it. So we're creating an association for Totalpreneurs, and there's the Institute, which will have the same kind of curriculum as we were going to do with Boost Your Practice, but open to anyone who's an entrepreneur. And by the way, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but the word entrepreneur is trademarked by Entrepreneur Magazine in the United States, and you can't do any branding with that without being sued. Just as an FYI. Yeah, truly, truly. In even educational institutions and colleges that have said the Entrepreneur Institute or whatever, you know, of whatever college, they lose all the time. But Totalpreneurship, yeah, but Totalpreneur, I mean, there's the solopreneur, there's multipreneur, and so on. But somehow we got it. So I'm introducing this to you now as family, you know, as my insider group, and real excited to share that with you. So you'll be seeing that coming out over the next few weeks. But all of our branding finally has a home. You know, I don't know if any of you have felt like you were kind of a wanderer and weren't able to really find the right identity and the right or the perfect you. But this finally clicked for me after all these years of, you know, what does Ken stand for? This is it. This is it. And for me, Excalibur, the Excalibur Society is the ultimate thing for me. That's my back end, high end thing where we just hang out and travel the world together. I mean, the time that we spend together doing these calls is a joy for me. I mean, I love it to pieces. Imagine now being able to spend the time together in cool destinations, like, you know, we're going to go to the Blue Lagoon in Iceland, and we're going to go to the Galapagos, and we're going to go to the Great Wall of China, and really neat places that I've always wanted to travel to with great people. And you got to qualify. You got to qualify to get there. You got to be able to afford it. You know, you got to be able to achieve something. This is not for newbies that don't know what they're doing. You know, this is for people that really have some experience, and the wherewithal to be there. And we're going to make it an adventure trip, but we also want to make it accessible. So people that, like my mom. I mean, my mom can hike, but she'll be 80 years old, and we put her on a pony. You know, when she got tired, we put her on a pony. No problem. So she made it all the way and could not have been more excited. So we really want to give people an experience that they will never ever forget. And that's what's happening. That's the future.
I love looking at how you have it right now, showing entrepreneurship. That's really exciting to me.
Thank you, Julianne. I appreciate that. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and again, let you know what we're doing, and everything's going to lead toward that. And by the way, the 5 tenets. I love the bird. The 5 tenets that and I'm calling them quests, because we're all on a quest, and Excalibur. I'm gonna laugh at the bird. This is so cool. The Excalibur Society is really designed. I'm competing with the bird. Okay, we got to mute the bird now. The Excalibur Society is really designed around the mindset of the Knights of the Round Table, where it's all for one and one for all. We're all together, and we work in a spirit of chivalry and of caring, and really being able to slay the dragons that are on our way for the greater good. So, you know, it's really all about that. And we're gonna have lords and ladies, and it's gonna be really kind of fun. But what I decided to do is really have 5 quests. And the 5 quests are, number 1 is the quest for the best customer, the quest for the perfect customer or client. Not just anybody, but people that you want to work with, people that are fun to work with, like you guys. You're my perfect customer. You know, you guys show up, you take action, you care about what you're doing. You're the perfect customer for me, right? If you are a sports therapist, and you wanted to work with seniors, for example, then your perfect customer would not be a 12-year-old, right? So it's really get the right person. Next, the second quest is the quest for client or customer development, which is monetizing them, getting them to come back more, getting them to buy more, getting them to upgrade to higher priced products that make you more money, and also having them become raving evangelists where they can't stop talking about you. Really important, and that's by providing good, solid quality, right? Next is the quest for smooth operations. I keep wanting to sing that Sade song right now, but your operations are fundamental, and you can't come on an Excalibur trip if your operations are messed up, because you're never going to enjoy yourself. So you've got to have systems and procedures in place. You've got to lay all those things out. And I'm talking about your software. I'm talking about your hiring processes. I'm talking about having complete systems so that if someone's out, then someone else can quickly take over and pull up in your company wiki, for example, the steps on how do you send out a broadcast email, for example. You know, all that is easily documented. And I say easily once you get up and actually do it and take the momentum of getting it done. I've been talking about it for months, and if it was that easy, we'd have been finished. But it's a process. And have your team, whether it's outsourcers or whether it's people that actually work with you on a regular business, whatever a regular business is these days, everyone should be listing and categorizing and diagramming exactly what they do, so that there are no issues there. For example, one of my web guys was out last week, and I didn't know what the heck to do, because there have been some changes in the way we do things, and I wasn't aware of what the changes were. So I felt powerless to be able to do things that needed to get done. So building your operations and systems are fundamental. And then the last 2 are inner game, but inner game and lifestyle, and there's a distinction between the 2. One is the quest for personal excellence, and that's really about your inner game. That's about doing things that best suit you inside, and then the distinction of the other one is the quest for the lifestyle of awesomeness, and that's your health, That's your relationships. That's your travel, just your whole lifestyle, all together. And I separated the two of them because, frankly, your inner game controls everything. That's really the whole mindset. If you don't believe that you deserve your success, nothing you do is going to get you where you want to be. And I got to share with you, that's something that's been in my way for a lot of years. Giving myself the forgiveness, the personal forgiveness to allow myself to grow and to succeed was a huge, huge liberator. And I do want to do a shout out to a certain Jennifer with us because she helped facilitate that for me. So, sometimes you can't do this on your own. Sometimes you need someone to help you and coach you and guide you. But those are the 5 quests to create the ultimate totalpreneurship relationship and the total business for yourself. So we'll be running a curriculum leaning towards that and providing you with the tools and automation to get you there. So a little long way around, but that's what's happening. So any other questions? I think Chiwa, did you have another couple questions I saw in the question area? Let me see. Or
yeah,
is it Jocelyn?
I have some questions.
Okay.
This came from doing wraps this week.
Sure.
And one question was about, does it make any sense to do the all-in-one SEO title? I saw when I was doing it that it just said there that it was, I don't remember what it said, something like it was it just said like the name of the wrap or something like that. It didn't give a title for the page. It didn't say what the page was I was wrapping. Is that irrelevant because it's a blank page and Google doesn't see it?
That's a good question. Who wants to weigh on that? Because I don't know the answer to that. Anybody know the answer? Anybody have any ideas on that?
My view is that you are not looking, in that sense, to promote somebody else's page. And I'll come back to my view of original wrapping is to keep people on your site.
Yeah, my question was it might give more exposure for the return to site button.
Return to site button is an image inside the header.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know what I meant when I wrote that down, to tell you the truth.
Okay, SEO is search engine optimization.
Yeah.
So why are you looking for search engines to find this particular page?
Right, I know. I thought about that. It would only benefit them, not me. Okay. But it wouldn't hurt me, right?
I'm going to be ambivalent in my response to that.
Because my thought was, if it doesn't hurt me and it benefits someone else, I always like to benefit people who are serving well.
And if they're not studying their websites and that, they may not even know it.
Yeah, okay.
I think personally I would see that as an extra unnecessary step. I'd rather put time into creating something or wrapping something else. That's what would work for me.
Okay. That makes sense. Thanks. I appreciate that. And then the other question had to go ahead. What were you going to say, Julianne?
I just had something to say.
Yeah.
Well, this is Cynthia.
Yeah.
And I was going to say something to that blank, the blank page thing, because last time we all met, I was talking about, being able to make a post socially with an image. Mm-hmm. And this is the same, it comes up with the same question that you were asking, because sometimes I like to, like one of my wrap pages has recordings on it for blessing calls. And I want to share that with socially. But when I post it socially, my image of my wrapped page, of my header came up. And I didn't want that in my social showing up when I put that link socially. So I've been looking for how we can put an image in. And since they come up as blank pages, I was thinking, since the new all-in-one SEO, when you go to that to optimize your social page with images, I tried to use that, but that didn't work because, of course, we can't, optimize our wrap pages because they do show up as blank. But I found in Facebook now, when you put a link there, you also can add your own image.
That's great.
You don't have to take the image that pops up. We can't do it in Google yet, though, but I have a feeling that we'll be able to do that in Google here pretty soon, too, and other areas. But that was really exciting for me when I was playing around with that, because I was doing everything I can to figure out how to put an image in there so that I could still share that wrap page. And that's what I found out. So, yeah, we can't optimize them, but I at least wanted to be able to share it socially, and images are the best way to get people to click on them. And I want to represent that that page with the people who are presenting those blessing calls. So it worked out really great.
That's terrific.
Right. Yeah. That's great. Thank you.
And it kept people. Yeah, and it kept people in my website listening to those calls.
Have you?
It was perfect. It was a win-win.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous.
Have you seen the difference in your time on site with your stats for doing that?
Oh yeah, we were on there. Let's see, what is today? Monday. So Saturday's group, we went into my analytics, and it's looking pretty good.
What does pretty good mean?
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference.
So okay, so you've seen
since
go ahead.
We're seeing a difference in the amount of time that people are and how many pages they're clicking through. So I haven't fully optimized my site yet, but as what I'm doing, I absolutely see the increase. So I do have some other questions while I'm sitting here with this. I'm going to be changing my theme, here pretty soon to the instant.
My instant theme?
Theme that you guys, my instant theme that you guys request. Encourage us to go to. So okay. I'll probably be talking to you a little bit about making that change.
Okay.
And then in my dashboard that because I have a different theme,
right?
But the iBoostify and all that only shows up in my edit dashboard. It doesn't show up on the left-hand side of the dashboard. So I don't know if the new one, when we put that in there, if that's going to show up or not.
It should appear in the dashboard on all WordPress installations. So you're saying you don't, and
it doesn't.
That's interesting. I wonder why that would be. Matt? I'd like you to go ahead.
I have a Socrates theme right now.
I think that's going to depend. Yeah, I think that'll actually depend on the version of the beta that you're using. If you're using one of the first versions, then yes, it would not go onto the left-hand sidebar. However, I would think that when you upgrade, you're going to see it.
Do you know what version you have? What version you're using?
I have the most recent one, not this one that you're showing right now. The iBoostify one, the most. Right. The one that you changed the name on and everything. The most. Yeah. What is it? 99.
99 is the last version.
Matt, I have that one in there, but it still doesn't show up.
That's interesting. I'd like you guys to look, Matt. I'd like for you guys to take a look and see what that's.
If you could email me, so I can take a look. Hold on. Let me put in my email.
Yeah, that's kind of strange because that should be automatic.
Okay.
It's on the left hand side. It should. I mean, the theme is your appearance as opposed to what would be on your dashboard. So yeah, we'll take a look at that and see what that's all about.
Okay. Yeah.
Was there another question?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Great. Can I return to the previous question?
No,
now that I thought about it a little bit.
Too late. You can't go back, babe. We only move forward here in this group.
Good, I'm going to go back. Going back. Sometimes you got to go back to go forward. Or left
there
to go
you go,
right,
Q, I like
left
that.
to go down.
Okay.
It seems to me if I were to put a title into the, a more interesting title into the all-in-one SEO pack, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just putting out my thoughts here, that would bring more people to that page on my site, right? It would bring more people to my wrap page, not to their site. So it's SEO for me.
Yeah, well, that would make sense to me too. Because remember, the wrap page is on your site. It's not their site. You're not driving traffic to anybody else. I mean, they're
right. So it's not about bringing them SEO. It would be about bringing me more SEO.
Right.
That's what I meant when I said yeah. So it does seem like it would be kind of a good thing.
Anybody want to weigh on that one, Gary?
My view is I don't know how the spiders will handle an iframe.
How to do what?
What Gary's saying is that the spiders that Google has, he doesn't know how they're going to handle the iframe and how they're going to look at the iframe and weigh the page from an SEO standpoint.
Okay.
So
okay.
You know what I mean? So you might want to check with some different SEO experts on that and see what their position is. But I know that I'm not qualified to address that. So you know, I mean, I don't think, like I said, I don't think it'll hurt you. You know, certainly, I don't think it'll hurt you at all. Will it make a big difference for you? I can't say.
Okay, but it's not clear, right? Okay. So then the next question that I have is about, I tried to wrap links in a curated post to Quora and CreateSpace and MailChimp.
Okay.
And in all three cases, what happened was I came up with a blank page with my wrap header at the top. So does that mean that those sites are somehow not there? To wrap pages and not letting things happen.
Iframe breaking. Some sites have iframe breaking.
So that's.
Well, in most cases, we encounter that when you forget to put in the HTTP in front of the URL.
Ah.
Yeah,
so just put in the HTTP.
It could be user error, which it's been for me. Okay, but Gary makes a point. If some of those sites do have iframe breakers to prevent that from happening, then there's nothing you can do about it. Then you just can't use it.
Right.
Okay?
I think it did have the HTTP, and
well, again,
and it worked. What I was doing worked on smaller sites. It's just those big sites.
Well, if you're not sure, okay, if you're not sure, then what I want you to do is let's go into your pages, and let's go to the one page that we wrapped here, and I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to go into edit, and just proof it, and you proof it by just going right into your code and looking at it. So here's http://keyconcepts.com. If maybe it was keyconcepts.something else, or what, HTTPS, or one of the slashes, which I've done before, it's all going to come out either blank or 404. I've had 404 errors too. So, that again, that's where you're going to find your big wrap challenge right here. But it's a very easy thing to go back and correct. And again, it's, I mean, for example, the resolution for success promotion, it's the location is totalpreneur.com/resolutions. And of course, your affiliate links will be different, but that's where it'll go. And I misspelled resolution. Well, the wrap didn't work. Of course, the wrap didn't work. So all I did was I went in and I corrected and added the I to the word resolution, and it worked perfectly. So you can always double check that. And that's why I want you to be able to see the code so that you can edit it should there be any kind of a typo. Because once we put you into once you go into the script to go ahead and do the code, the wrap code, the code maker, that script doesn't allow you to go back. So here's where you go and fix it. Okay. Cool. So yeah, I would love to hear more from you guys.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I tried to wrap something on Robert and Terry Talltree's Native American site.
Okay.
Their Thanksgiving prayer, I think it was. And I had the most unusual thing happen in that instead of it going to their site with my header on it, the whole thing showed up on my site.
What do you
my
mean?
Header with their article.
Your header with their article. Is it up now? You want to show it to us?
It showed up in the post. I deleted the
Oh, wait a minute. You did it in a post. That may have been why.
Well, but I was writing a post and I was including the. Well, maybe that's what it was.
If you're doing a post,
Okay.
if you're doing a post and you're adding the wrapped page link, then yeah, your wrapped page is going to appear inside of your post. So you'll be in there twice with two headers. Does everybody understand that? If you were to make the content of your post be a wrapped page, then you're still going to get that wrapped header inside of your post. Is that making sense, John?
Oh, okay.
Right? Because you're what you're doing with your post is your post is how do I say it? Your post has content included in it, and the content that you included in it would have been your wrapped page. That's what I'm guessing. I mean, I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
But that's what it sounds like.
Okay. I was trying to do content curation, obviously.
Well, it's okay. You're allowed. We encourage that. We like that.
Sorry, Ken, I got to correct that. You can't do content creation in a wrapped page.
Well, yeah, what the wrap does is you'll wrap the links that you're curating.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
you're putting another page inside an iframe. You're not changing anything except for the header.
Yeah, and that's not really curating.
You're wrapping it.
Yeah, I mean,
curation is where you take somebody's article, and ideally you're adding a header, a footer, and an acknowledgement. You're taking it all in, but you're adding value to it. So it is not that fantasy word called duplicate content, but you're actually adding your flavor, you're adding a purpose, a direction, a view, whatever, to it. So you're putting extra value into the comment, or the article, or the video, or whatever you're working on.
Okay, that part I agree with Gary. So I'm just trying to get this clear, because obviously I wasn't clear on the concept, because I thought what I would do is use content curation and I'd pull their article in, but I was trying to wrap the article when I pulled it in. That's what I did.
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. No. No.
So
can I offer a suggestion?
Yeah.
Start by looking at it under the KISS approach, keeping it stupidly simple.
Okay. Well, here's where my confusion still comes in. We were just talking about Cindy doing a curated article, and it was wrapped, and the guy was all bent out of shape about it.
That's why I jumped in the clarification. That's why I jumped in the clarification, because I don't.
Okay, apparently it didn't register for me. Okay. You know how that is sometimes. If you don't know enough, you don't recognize what it is. That's wrong.
Okay. Well, once again, curation is just to kind of repeat with my language. I mean, all you're doing is you're taking an article, and what you've been taught to do, John, is add a paragraph before, add a paragraph at the end. Okay, that's curation. Wrapping doesn't do that. Wrapping is just putting another website inside of our website. It's like putting the website into an envelope. Curation means putting the address on the envelope, if you will. Okay, so that's a completely different thing. Now the way they work together is that when you put in your curated article, the way you've been taught to do, there are usually links inside of that article that the article creator has used. Sometimes they're affiliate links, sometimes they're just resource links, but they have links in their articles. Those links should be wrapped. Okay? Those links should be wrapped. Now, because that will keep them on your site, because if you don't wrap them, then they're going someplace else. Okay? So you would wrap those links in your curated content. Now, as what Cindy did, if they would be affiliate links, you wrap the affiliate link, leave it alone. You don't make it your own affiliate link. That would be poor. That would be wrong. So let them have their own affiliate link in there. You're still getting the benefit of that content. And in fact, if you're getting free content, you don't want to steal their revenue stream. That's really incorrect. Okay, but that's the difference. Okay, and that's why wrapped are pages, not posts. Okay.
Okay.
Hope that makes it easier.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's becoming clearer by the second here.
You'll find it will be clearer for you the more you do it. We'll leave it that way.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So as we start to draw today to a close, because we're a little bit over time, and I've got another call coming up that I've got to be on. I want to just hear from you guys, if you would. What successes have you had? What fun have you had? What cool things have you experienced using SiteWrap? Oh, come on. Not everybody at once. Wow, you guys are like totally silent. Seriously? It's not been like great or fun or anything? I mean...
Okay, all right.
Okay, Ken, I've woken up. Ken.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Okay.
We're all here now.
Ken, you just don't wait long enough. It takes us a while to unmute.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair.
I haven't started using it yet. I'm excited about it.
Good. I want to get you using it. I mean,
Me too.
Okay.
This is Aileen.
So,
Hi.
should I go ahead and answer that question?
Okay. Well, let me get Aileen, because you jumped in, then you come in right after that. Okay.
Hi there. I wasn't really asleep, honestly. I was just muted. Well, the biggest thing for me was the very first one that I did when somebody went onto my first or second wrap page and stayed on for nearly 30 minutes, and that was just amazing. An amazing difference for me, because I had literally only just put the website live, and it was a very encouraging thing to happen. I just find it's really fun, and it's an interesting thing to be involved in, and I love the evolution of it, how it's developing, and to be in sort of at the beginning, at the start of it. It's been really exciting for me. So that's my bit.
Thank you. Yeah, and there's the screenshot of Aileen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, we have a video of that screenshot and of you going, oh my goodness, on the sales page. So.
Oh, you don't, do you?
We do, absolutely, we do. That was precious. So okay, so
Aileen, I'm really happy to hear that, because I was checking my analytics and I had this same experience. And then I started to doubt it, and I couldn't put it in my testimonial because of my doubts. But now that I'm I was thinking, well, maybe I was someplace else, and maybe it was just me working on my site. But now you make me want to go back and check it out again, and maybe in fact it is true.
Well, as you can see, the rest of it's all zeros, because it was literally, I don't know, maybe the second day or something. I can't remember. It was very, very early when the site was live. I did this, and it was just quite fun to get that result.
Yeah, the same thing happened to me.
Yeah, isn't it funny that the results come almost instantly? I mean, it's remarkable. And now I think, Aileen, you're kind of settled in at about what, 9 minutes on site now?
I think so. Yes, I haven't looked recently, to be honest. I'm not on top of this sort of thing.
That was the last I saw on your site was about 9 minutes, which,
right,
considering average time on sites less than a minute, it's not too shabby.
Yeah.
So
it
okay.
was that, certainly. Yeah.
Yeah. So who else wants to share?
Was that Michaela who
I'm
said
still trying to figure out how to make sense out of my analytics. I've watched Gina do it many times, but trying to do it myself is a bit confusing to me. So I don't really know what I've got.
Okay. Well, you know what? I've got to become more of an analytics expert myself, given the fact that one of the benefits of using the software is that. But whoops, I think that, David, that's your phone. So you can tell people that you're on the phone with us and we're having fun. Yeah, what you might want to do is have Gina look at your stats and share with you what you're getting, and let her walk you through that.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that can run circles around Google Analytics like her. I mean, she's tremendous. I'll see if I can't have her do a session with us on analytics, because that would be really helpful for you guys to see.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be very good.
Because one of the things that she taught me that I thought was really helpful, and it's kind of common sense, but I don't know anybody that does this, is that if you're going to compare, let's say you're going to compare June, for example, to September, just for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
People would go June 1 to June 30th compared to September 1 through September 30th. But that's not right, because June 1 would probably start on let's say June 1 starts on a Sunday and September 1 starts on a Wednesday. People's behavior, people's behavior changes depending upon day of the week. People on weekends perform very different than they do on weekdays. And you'll find that within your audience, for example, that maybe emails sent on Monday do nothing, and on Thursday they're better, or Tuesday, whatever it is, depending upon the behavior of your audience. So if you match up apples to apples, you're in a much better way of really matching up what's going on, So that's one basic thing that people don't usually do, and it's fundamental. Yeah.
The way I made a note on that is that what you're doing is, instead of comparing the first of the month to the first of the month, you're comparing the first Monday to the first Monday.
That's a good way to put it.
First Wednesday to the first Wednesday.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, John, and it keeps it clean in your mind too. Really good. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Cool. All right. Anybody else?
Okay. Well, I'm excited about your New Year program. That sounds good.
Cool. Well, I'll make sure that what I'll do also is, because for those people that didn't make it on, I'm going to send out an email as soon as we're ready to launch it. And again, I'm just going to get a few more things set up and cleaned up and so on, and then we'll get you the links. All you got to do is just sign up and then mail. I'd be real excited to have you do that. That's because it's kind of an experiment for us, but I think it's good solid content too. Okay. Somebody else was trying to say something.
Yes, Ken, my website hasn't officially gone live to the fullest extent, but I've been testing the tool, and I'm excited about what the potential is there. So looking forward to using it.
That's great. I'm looking forward to your success story. That's going to be great. And the cool thing is that you're starting. So many people in everything that they do, that either they buy a course or whatever and it sits on the shelf, or they have an idea and they don't launch it. And the key, and this is for everybody here, the key is don't be perfect, just get it done. Fix it later. I mean, I got to tell you that, for example, this page, not this page. Well, this page is looking good actually right now, but this page was nothing but text. And this page right now that you're seeing that I'm showing you right now, it will probably stay text. It ain't pretty. It will probably sell because it's not pretty, but it's going to get done. Pretty can come later, and pretty can come when you fine tune.
Actually, I read something really interesting about a study on that.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's too fancy, it tends to not sell as well.
I agree. And by the way, I'm one of those guys that always likes things to look pretty, but sometimes not looking it is better. And the only way you know is by testing. The only way you know is by testing.
You know where I read that, Ken?
Where?
It was in that ebook that you recommended. I haven't written a review of it yet, but it's outstanding.
Which one?
You sent out an email about a free ebook.
Oh, is that
on email?
Oh, okay. I don't remember which it was at this point. That's terrible.
1 second, I'll have to look. I've got too many things open.
That's okay. When I find good stuff, I like to pass it out, and I forget yesterday. Because I'm living in today.
It truly was extraordinarily good.
Cool. Well, when you remember what it is, would you send me an email and share that with me and make it a testimonial so I can use it? If you would, that'd be great. Thanks. Okay.
I do have one thing more I'd like to share real quick.
Sure.
We've been talking a lot about business, but one of my major clients is a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first got this plugin, that's where I tested it. and it was at a crucial time in for the organization. We had, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but we had a documentary come out on PBS. So it was very exciting for me to be able to wrap PBS.
Nice.
And then we were getting, I think at one point we went for about 2 or 3 weeks where we were getting well over 21,000. I think for the month of October we had like 22,000 visitors. It's pretty amazing.
That's sensational. That's really great. You know, this can be used for everybody. And the cool thing about it is that not only does it have a purpose for SEO, you know, which makes the SEO people happy, but I didn't tell you this. Oh shoot, I got to tell you this now too before we finish up. It's really, really important. It also has a huge opportunity for people that are affiliate marketers and people that are looking to monetize. I mean, directly monetize as opposed to just get traffic. So here's the thing I forgot to tell you, and it's really important. The I was having a conversation with my friend Jim the other day, and he was arguing with me about, you know, why are you putting videos on YouTube? And I said, well, because you know you can create links on them, and you can have people come back to your website. And he said, no, you can't. And I said, yeah, you can. And I had to show and I had to show him that within annotations, and I'll have to spend some more time with this on the next call. In YouTube, you can add an annotation to your video, okay? And in the annotation, you can add, and a lot of you guys know this, but you may not realize the power that we have right now. You can add an annotation to click through to your website or to another video or wherever else, but you can click through to another website. The key is, though, that you can only...
Now, Ken, I saw you do that, and I went through that, and I tried to do it, and they would only allow me to link to another video.
Then you didn't activate. You got to activate the ability to do annotations. I think it may be activating monetization. I don't remember which it is, but
okay.
there is
monetization.
Okay, that you know, I'm sure it's monetization. If you don't have monetization activated, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that you do have to authorize monetization.
Yes. Now, and by the way,
activation in order to activate.
Yeah, and by the way, you don't need to have monetization on all your videos. In fact, you don't have to have it on any of your videos. And in your default settings, you can remove monetization, which is what I've done on a lot of them because I don't want distraction from my videos. But here's the thing that you need to know. Here's an important distinction. While YouTube will allow you to let your annotation, and the annotation is like a pop-up, okay? It's just a pop-up on the screen. It will allow you to go to a website. It will only allow you to link to a website that you are associated with. It's called an associated website. So in other words, if you're putting up a video that's a review of, say, Optimized Press, or hell, it's a review of my bundle for this weekend, right? You cannot send them to my website. You can't. But if your website was an associated website, which of course it would be, you would link it together, you can send them to a wrapped page on your website. So any affiliate offer that you want to promote, Michaela, any affiliate offer that you want to do a video on, you want to do a review on, you want to borrow their own promotional stuff and add to it, all you do is wrap the destination, wrap the sales page on your site, and you can use your YouTube videos with annotations with a live buy now button or get more information button or click here to continue button or whatever the heck you want to use that brings them to a real sales page, which is wrapped, their content, their sales page wrapped on your site. Totally cool and incredibly powerful. You guys following that? And I want to demo that for you. I'll demo that for you next call. But that's just huge. And all of the video marketers out there are going to go nuts. I was on the phone with one of our JV partners yesterday who can't wait to promote this because he's like, they're going to go off the wall for this. So if you're doing anything with video, every YouTube video that you do is going to be that cool. Now, I'm going to give you something else. It's coming up, I'm going to say now 2 or 3 weeks. We have another product coming out. And we're calling that, what are we calling it? Story. I forget what it's called. I think it's being called StoryLink or something. And I forgot the name of it. Can you believe this? I created the name. I forgot the name. But what it will do is it will allow you to put in a keyword. The keyword, the engine will pull up a relevant article from Google. If you approve the article, it will then convert the article into a video. It will post the video to, and by the way, the video can have your own background on it, and you can choose the color of the text and the font of the text and so on and so forth. It will post it to YouTube. It will post it to, I think it's going to go to iTunes. It will also create a slideshow so it can go into SlideShare, and it will, of course, strip off the audio so you can post the audio as well. All that
What
together.
is that tool?
That is, it's a text to video converter, if you will, and it's going to be called the iBoostify story link, or I forget what I called it, story something. Forgive me, I should know like the name of my own products, but we're just finishing up the assembly of that now, and that'll be available coming out within the next few weeks, and you guys will know about it first, obviously. Nice. But when you add the annotations to it afterwards, think about the power of that, because you can just pop out video after video after video after video. So it's really cool, and that'll be part of our new Boostifier suite, but they'll be sold separately, together and separately. But we're going to release them one by one. So it's cool stuff. So thinking about how you can use those annotations to make money, huge stuff. I mean, the big purpose of the story link, I think it was story link, it was something. In any event, the big purpose of that was to do SEO, so that way you have your content everywhere. It's curated content and it's everywhere. But at the end of the day,
so congratulations.
Someone, there we go. David found that. Thank you. Watch the video about a minute and a half into it. You see stuff from Nepal.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. As long as it's my video, you can do it all day long. It's cool. I'm that shallow. Yes. So anyway, we'll share that with you next time around. Okay. And as new things come out, but there's more stuff coming. So I want you to know where, and the new LinkedIn software they're finishing that up. We had to change some stuff with the user interface, and LinkedIn made some changes as well that were not pretty. So we've had to redo it. The only constant is change around here. So that's coming out. There's a lot of new stuff coming for you guys. So you're going to enjoy the next
book,
months.
By the way, title into the questions.
Let me see.
Ian Brody's Email Persuasion.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Sorry about the spelling error, but
no problem.
Anyway.
Oh, good. Did I share that? That's great. I forgot all about that. Excellent. I'll put that in the chat for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I finally do a review, I'll let you know.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are 22 minutes over. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, Susan has had her hand up for a little bit. Every time I unmute her, she has background noise, but maybe you can see what she needs.
Okay. Susan?
I unmuted her.
Okay. Hello? Susan? Well, I'm not hearing anything now. If you have a question, pop it in the chat. In the question box. You there? Okay.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe
Sorry.
Not. No worries. Okay, you guys, we are like.
Is that about me?
What? Everything's about you.
Oh, I thought I didn't deliberately put my hand up.
Well, no worries.
Susan.
No worries. Hey guys, we're running.
I don't always have control of my body parts.
We'll leave that to another conversation altogether. So you guys, what real quickly, because we're running really late, and I've got another call that's late already. Quickly, takeaways from today. What did you get from today?
Oh my gosh.
The new software is awesome. I can't hardly wait to use it.
Thank you.
I'll be using it right after we're done with this. I love it.
Great. Anybody else?
Yeah, I like that funnel, Ken.
Thanks, John. Anybody else?
Looking back through my notes.
Perhaps we're just so gobsmacked with this.
It sounds like it. It sounds like you
learned so much. We've gone 2 hours, and I'm trying to figure out. It's like, well, was it this? Was it that? I don't know what to say. It's all is good. All is good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gobsmacked. That's
yeah.
exactly.
I haven't done any.
gobsmacked.
I haven't done any wrapping yet because I'm still waiting for my site to get rebuilt in WordPress.
Okay.
But I just can't wait to get started.
That's great. Well, I'm excited. I can't wait to see your results, guys. I want to be able to.
I'm excited about your new products.
Thank you. Too. Thank you. I want to brag about you guys. I mean, truly, I really want to see. I want to see the pages that you've got. When you start wrapping pages, please. Please let me know what pages you're wrapping so that I can when I do demos on webinars, for example, I like showing current pages. I mean, I've been showing Linda Feinhold's page forever. I'm like tired of seeing it. I want to show new pages. I want to show, stuff that's, I want to showcase you. So let me have the opportunity to show your sites and show your pages. So as you set up, cool pages with lots of wraps on them or pages you think are terrific, share them with us, please. Happy to broadcast them. Someone was saying something I was talking over? No.
It sounded like a radio or something.
Oh, okay. Oh, and one other thing too, by the way, if you know anybody who would benefit from SiteWrap, or if you have a JV that you can hook up to get us on someone's webinar or whatever, we pay people for that. We pay for referrals. So by all means, hook us up. If you know someone whose list would be perfect for this, I'm happy to. You guys are affiliates, so take advantage of it. Make some money with us. So happy to. Yeah, the thanks, Jody. The Tasha, the replays are always available in the members area. So it'll be posted. Of course, this is a long video, so it'll take a while to get rendered. But so figure sometime tomorrow it'll be up. Okay. You're doing mass giveaway too, Michaela? Yeah, I've got it. Well, I'm in mass giveaway as well. We have 3 products that we'll be doing in the mass giveaway. I'm not quite sure what they are yet. I got to think about that over the next 12 hours. Because there's this giant giveaway that's a giant list building thing. I'm going to test that out and see how well that works. Kind of skeptical, but we'll see how that turns out. Okay, you guys, I want to thank every single one of you. I want to wish you all an amazingly great new year. I encourage you to have a blast. Please be safe. If you can stay home and have a party at your house, that's the best place to have the party, especially with those crazies on the road, because it is amateur night. We will be on our roof tonight. It is New Year's Eve now in Bangkok, and we will be on the 44th floor on the roof again, second year in a row. But I want to,
wow.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. So, Gary, thank you again for jumping in and being our co-conspirator today. Cindy, thanks for your help as an organizer. Matt, as always, we applaud you. But really, we could not do this without all of you. We could not do this without all of you. And so I thank you so much for your support, for your encouragement. And for being part of the family. I hope every one of you will be joining us in Nepal. And I encourage, and I'm thrilled to be able to help you throughout the year, building yourself up so that you can actually get there with us. So
good to have you back, Matt.
Is Matt still there? Well, yeah, there he is. Yeah, there he is. That was good, Matt. That was your good long speech. So everybody, thanks again. Happy New Year. Be safe. We will see you next year. Look for your email. If you don't have patience for that, go into the members area right now. You have your logins and everything. You should be able to immediately download version 0.995. I will have an email out to you probably within the next hour or so because I'm late for a call that I got to be on first. But looking forward to having you guys upgrade. Remember, if you don't do the upgrade, your wraps will stop at midnight. It will turn into a pumpkin. It will turn into a pumpkin. There will be no magic prince or princess. It will just be a pancake. So, so get it done. Yes, sir.
I would suggest that you don't do that. You merely prevent them from using the software. Because if you've got somebody who uses it, they've got some wraps out there, but for whatever reason they stop being really, really active and they don't need the software to go forward, and they did pay for the original version, then just don't give them any. It's kind of like when I buy Microsoft Windows. I don't get updates after a certain point, but the software doesn't crater on me.
Yeah, John, that's a really, really good point, and you make a very valid point. So we're going to look at that because all of you guys do have a 1-year license on it. So, I mean, the new people will not have a prepaid 1-year license. You guys are all comped in for that. And anything recurring for you guys would start in a year. So yeah, we did it for a reason. There was a good reason for that. I forget what it is right now, but you make a really good point because you're right. People that aren't going to check their email, whatever.
We wanted to ensure that everybody was doing a newer version.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? John makes a very valid point because if they don't upgrade for whatever, then there's a challenge. So we shouldn't do that again. We shouldn't do that again. So John, thank you for that. That's very, very, very important information for us. I appreciate that. And it's kind of like, duh.
Thanks for sharing.
No, it's like, duh. Why didn't we think of that? You're absolutely right. That was probably we thought it was smart, but obviously not so much. So we're not going to do that again. People that there's a new registry that is being implemented on the next version that because the new when people are coming out with it in the future, there will be a monthly. So if they don't pay, it will deactivate those that don't pay. But if you do pay, you're not going to have any problems. So good point, and thank you for making it really clear how dumb that was. Everybody, thank you again.
I was a marketer instead of a server.
Well, I'm just very grateful because I'm like, yeah, that is really one of the dumber things we've ever done. How about that? Great intentions, but probably not so smart. So and this, yeah, thank you again. Okay, you guys, goodbye. Have a great New Year's.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
We'll see you next year. Take care, y'all. See you guys. Bye, all.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Great to see you guys.
What?